Top of the morning to you folks. We are live. It's Kelley, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. How are we doing this morning, folks? You know, we're going to have some fun today, as we always do. We always have fun when it comes to these daily lives. And what do we talk about on these daily lives? Man, we talk about all things type 2 diabetes, all things weight loss, all things pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, insulin resistance. Man, we talk about all of that. That's what we talk about. Yeah, so we're gonna have some fun today, as we always do every single morning. How was your night? Sleep well? You know, we always talk about sleep. How did you sleep? Did you sleep like a champ? Did you get effective sleep? You know, we always, that's the E in PACE, right? Effective sleep. Are you getting effective sleep? That is the question. All right, that's what we're gonna uncover today. What we're gonna talk about today, you know what we always talk about. We talk about what is diabetes, what is insulin resistance, what's an A1C, how do you bring your A1C down if your A1C gets too high? Man, these are some of the things that we talk about. We talk about lifestyle medicine. We talk about what else? Foods to avoid. We talk about the glucose roller coaster, man. We talk about clean eating, man. We talk about a whole bunch of different things. So buckle up, strap in. We're going to be here for a little less than 4 hours today. Of course, like we do always every day. We're here 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., 7:15-ish to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time every single day, except for Sunday, Monday through Saturday. Sunday's the only day. We take Sunday off, right? We take Sunday off, go walk my dog at the park and play Frisbee and all types of stuff like that, right? That's what we do on Sundays. But throughout the week, man, we talk about all things diabetes. Is diabetes reversible? Is once you get diabetes, do you have to have it for your rest of your life? Is once you get diabetes, you have to just like let it let it consume you? Is that how it goes? You just take the medication until you just slowly whittle away? Is that how it's supposed to go? Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not how it goes. Now, you can choose to have it go that way, but it doesn't have to go that way if you make different choices. And those choices are in your lifestyle, folks, because that's where diabetes comes from. It is a dietary, type 2 diabetes I'm talking about. It is a dietary and lifestyle-driven condition. So if it was your diet and lifestyle that caused the condition, well, we can use our diet and lifestyle to get rid of the condition. All we got to do is just reverse engineer the thing. That's all we got to do, right? So the theme of today's live is this. Here's the theme of today's live. Change begins when you stop letting your old story define your future self. That is the theme of today's live, folks. Of course, we're going to talk about all the other stuff in the meantime. It's going to be a whole master class, everything, right? But change begins when you stop letting your old story define your future self. We're going to tear up that script and we're going to write a new script. We ain't living by that old story anymore. It's like, I got to have diabetes and I got to have it for the rest of my life. And I got to take these meds for the rest of my life. And I just go to the doc like, hey, doc, well, what are we doing, doc? Can you help me here? And the doctor's like, oh, yeah, I can help you. Here's some more medication. That's it. That's it. That's the only help you're getting from the doc. Just more medication, right? Stronger medication. That's all the help that you're getting. Is that the kind of help that you need? Or do you need a different kind of help? You need a different kind of help to say, I don't want this diabetes anymore. I don't want higher blood sugar anymore. I want to get my life back. Is that the kind of help you want? Or is it the other help? Remember, we always talk about the matrix on here. There's two different types of pill. There's the blue. If you watch the Matrix, there's the blue pill and then there's the red pill. All right. The blue pill is just taking the medication, just going on about your life and just suffering for many, many years until finally it's over. That's the blue pill, right? But the red pill is the one that you got to step outside of your comfort zone and you actually got to go do some work. The work is called lifestyle medicine. You got to change your lifestyle. You got to change this. You got to change what you're eating. You got to change how you're sleeping. You got to change how you're moving your body. You got to change how you're managing your stress. And I'm going to be honest with you. Most people don't want to do that. They're like, if it's diabetes, if it's between diabetes and changing my lifestyle, I would prefer to choose the diabetes. That's what most they're not going to say that. People aren't going to say that out of their mouth. I would choose diabetes. No, they're not going to say that. But their actions will say that. Their actions will say that's exactly what I want to do. Isn't that crazy? Because what you do speaks so loudly that people can't hear what you're saying. All right. Just like it was for me. With me, here's my story. I was a diabetic. I had heart disease and I was obese, the triple whammy. A few years ago in 2019, 2020, somewhere around there. I forget the exact. I don't know if it was 2019 or 2020 when I got the diagnosis. I think, yeah, it was 2019. Yeah, 2019. Yeah, because it was a couple months before my mother passed away from the same condition that I just got diagnosed with. What condition was that? Again, diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Oh, you want to see the picture? You want to see what I'm talking about here? You're like, Kelley, you weren't obese. You're making that up, bro. Okay. Here it is right here. I'm going to show both cameras. We're live on both cameras, right? We're live on both cameras. There we go. That's picture number one. I'm going to show you a couple pictures. There's picture number two. Look at that. That was 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks. I took this picture 2 weeks before I got my diagnosis. Look at my hands. Look at where they are. You see what my hands are? Why do you think my hands are there? My hands are there because there's a little thing called insecurity. That's why my hands are there. Right? Diabetes, heart disease, obesity. Look at my belt. It was a struggle. It was a struggle to tie my shoes, folks. It's a real struggle. So let me show you some of the after pictures. They caught me with my hand in a cookie jar. Look at that. I'm wearing the same clothes to let you know, hey, if it's possible for me, it's possible for you. Now, a year after taking this picture, you see that's a year later. That's a year later, wearing the same clothes. And guess what? No more diabetes, no more heart disease. And I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm obviously no longer obese. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. Last picture, I'm going to show you. Last picture. Look at that. Look how many inches I lost off of my waist. How did I do this? It's because I took the red pill. I took the red pill. If you've ever watched The Matrix, like I said before, The Matrix is it came out in 1999. I remember it vividly. The reason I remember when this movie came out is because the girl I was dating at the time, that was one of our first dates. One of our first dates was going to watch The Matrix. And I was like, man, I never seen a movie like this before. So the red pill, the blue pill, like what? People like stopping bullets and stuff. I'm like, what? Dodging bullets. I'm like, what? That's the craziest movie I've ever seen in my life. But in 2025, The Matrix is really here. It's The Matrix. The Matrix is called type 2 diabetes or getting rid of type 2 diabetes. Again, the blue pill is when you take that, when you stay inside of the Matrix and you're just oblivious to everything around you. Just like, I'm oblivious, bro. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? You're oblivious. And then the red pill is like, I'm no longer oblivious. You see, those are two different. The blue pill, you see the pictures that I showed you when I was overweight and I was obese and I had diabetes and heart disease and all that stuff. I was taking the hell out of the blue pill every single day. Like, blue pill. I'm blue pill. Now, then you saw the other picture when I lost the weight. That was when I took the red pill. Just like in the movie. And then I got out of the Matrix and I started fighting the agents. I started kicking butt. And then I eventually became the one. I eventually became the one that reversed diabetes. I eventually became the one, like Neo, the one that reversed heart disease, no more heart disease. And I eventually became the one that's no longer obese. Here's the thing. You can do the exact same thing that I did. All you got to do is do the work. That's what we're going to talk about today, doing the work. So how my lives work, folks, is come on, introduce myself, which I just did. And then we talk about what we're going to talk about, the agenda. The agenda, of course, we're going to learn about A1C. We're going to learn about lifestyle medicine. We're going to learn about all of that stuff, right? People ask, well, what kind of medicine did you take, Kelley, to do all that? What was the medicine you took, bro? Tell me the medicine now. Tell me now. I'm like, all right, I'm going to tell you the medicine now. It's called You're not going to like it though. It's called lifestyle medicine, where you got to go in and change your lifestyle in these specific areas: stress management, activity levels, eating and sleeping, and then substance abuse as well. Things like alcohol, things like, yeah, cutting back or totally eliminating alcohol. And people are going to be like, Kelley, I am never doing that. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right. So that is how my lives go, folks. And then I do Q&As. We do Q&As as well. So we're getting ready to do the Q&As right now. So if you got any questions for me, man, bebop that screen as well. Bebop that screen and share this live. Double tap that screen and share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with diabetes, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes. Maybe they just got diagnosed and they don't know what to do. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Well, if they don't know what to do, if you don't know what to do, man, hang out with me for a little while and I got you. I got you. We're going to give a whole bunch of lessons today. And by the end of this live, you're going to have a clear understanding of what it is that you need to do. Yeah, pre-diabetes as well. Yeah, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, PCOS, anything related to insulin resistance. These are all insulin-related factors, right? Erectile dysfunction, all of that stuff. That's all related to heart disease. That's all related to insulin resistance. Right, just like I had. That's why usually heart disease and obesity and heart disease, obesity, and diabetes are usually together. It's called metabolic syndrome. Because insulin resistance will cause everything else down the line. If you're insulin resistance, which we'll talk about insulin, that is a precursor for everything. That is basically the starting point for everything. When it comes to poor health, if you are insulin resistance, that is the start of it. That is the start of poor health. It's called insulin resistant. So let's get into it, folks. High blood pressure is the same thing. The high blood pressure is the same thing. All of it. It's all related to insulin resistance. All right. So let's see if y'all got any questions. And then we're going to get started this morning. When do you yo, jumping, use a wild guy, bro. Here we go. Let's see if y'all got any questions. Good morning, Professor. Thank you. How's it going? Good morning. LOL. Okay. Pre-diabetes. Yeah. High blood pressure. Yeah. How can I use, what's the question here? How can I use my sensor to reverse my diabetes? Pre-diabetes. You don't use the sensor to reverse your diabetes. You can use the sensor in this way to reverse the diabetes. You can look at your numbers and say, what is it that I'm eating that's causing my blood sugar to go high? And then you look at the sensor and you say, oh yeah, it's because I just ate that pizza. That pizza I just ate just caused my blood sugar to go high. That spaghetti I just ate with the garlic bread and all that stuff. Yeah. Look at the numbers. So yeah, you can use your blood sugar monitor like that, your CGM that way, to find out how the food is affecting your blood sugar. Absolutely. The metformin makes me sick. Yeah. Yeah. It's has a hell of a lot of side effects. It's a hell of a lot of side effects. I hate how I feel inside. All right. We're going to talk about that. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning. Hope you too, and all blessings. Yep. What can I do to get off the metformin? Demetrius, you're not gonna like it. You ain't gonna like it. I'm gonna tell you what you got to do to get off of it. You got to take the shortcut. You got to take a shortcut. It's a serious shortcut that you got to take to get off of it, off the metformin. And here's what the shortcut is. You show up, you do the work, and then you do the work again tomorrow. You show up, you do the work, and you do it again tomorrow. Right? That is the work. Right? That's the work. Show up, do the work, do it again tomorrow. What's the work? Lifestyle medicine, having a peaceful mind, having an active body, clean eating, effective sleep. The same work that I had to do, same work that you're not going to be able to avoid. So my thing to you is, there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. How you get off of the meds is by doing the work. That's it. That's it. Every morning here's the thing. Every morning you have two choices. Either continue to sleep with your dreams or wake up and chase them. That's it. Those are the two choices. Either continue to sleep with your dreams of getting off the metformin, or you wake up and you go chase your dreams. That's the only two choices you got, boss. Question is, which choice are you? It's choice time right now. I want to heal so badly. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that work. Is there a such thing as insulin resistance? Is there a such thing as insulin resistance? Yeah, it's only the biggest thing that's causing everybody's chronic health conditions right now is insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is the root cause of literally all of these chronic health conditions. All right. That's it. How do you reverse insulin resistance? We're going to talk about that. I'm going to take you through A1C. We're going to talk about A1C. We're going to talk about insulin resistance. And then after that, we're going to talk about how to bring that number down. That's going to be next. So we're going to talk about all of that. What we need to do to chase our dreams, the work right here. I'm about to show you the work right now. Can you reverse type 2 diabetes? Absolutely, you can. You maybe just joining us, but I showed you my picture when I was obese, when I had diabetes, and when I was obesity, diabetes, and I was obese, diabetic, heart disease. No longer, I don't have any of those anymore. They're all gone. All right, they're all gone. Why? It's because I did the work. So type 2 diabetes is a dietary and lifestyle driven condition, meaning it was your diet and lifestyle that caused it. So why don't you just use your diet and lifestyle to get rid of it? All right. I don't think it wasn't the metformin that caused it, was it? No. It wasn't the glipizide that caused your diabetes, was it? No, I don't think it was. Was it Ozempic? No, I don't think it was Ozempic either. Yeah, it comes from your lifestyle, diet and lifestyle, stress management, activity, eating, sleeping, and then the fifth area as well, substance abuses or things like medications. Things like medications, like steroids, can cause insulin resistance, right? These are some of the factors, but for the most part, it was just caused by neglect. That's mostly what it was caused by, neglect. So once you clean up the neglect, you start cleaning the neglect up, the diabetes will go away. Your pain and your suffering will stop. It will. But until you do that, until you make the decision to say, today's the day that I've had it, today's the day that I've actually made the decision to actually go do the work. If you don't make that decision, then the pain is going to persist. Because what you resist, if you resist doing the work, which I'm going to tell you, the lifestyle medicine work, it will persist. So what you resist will persist. You can avoid doing the work, but I can guarantee you this, diabetes will persist. It will. Here we go, folks. Do me a favor and put the word A1C in the chat. Put that word A1C in the chat if you want to know more about what A1C is. And do me a favor, folks, and bebop that screen, share this live out with anybody that you know that's struggling with their A1C. Right? They're struggling with their A1C. They're struggling with their weight. They're struggling with a whole lot of stuff. How you doing over there? Got some folks over here. Good morning to you on my other lives over here. Good morning to you. Put the word A1C in the chat over there. Yep, I see you. I see you put it in. I see you put it in. Let me see. Boom. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here we go. What about genetic diabetes? We're going to talk about that too. Here's the thing about genetics. Why people are putting A1C in. I'm going to go to the board. Here's the thing about genetics, folks. Yes, if diabetes runs in your family, yes, you will get diabetes too. Here's the thing though, key if. Most likely you will get it. I ain't saying you're going to 100% get it, but most likely you will get it. If diabetes runs in your family, you will most likely get it. Here's the thing though, here's the catch. If you do the same thing that your family did, if you live the same diet and lifestyle that your family did, guess what? The chances of you getting diabetes are greatly increased. You live the same lifestyle. Remember I talked about, it's called lifestyle medicine. We're going to break down the formula. It's a formula. PACE, peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. You do the same kind of stuff that your family did, you're going to get diabetes too. But here's the thing. Like I just told you before. Did you see my picture? My picture when I was obese. I told you my mother passed away a couple of months prior from the same condition that I just got diagnosed with. Yeah, it runs in my family. That condition runs in my family. But here's the thing. As I stand here today, or sit here now, as I stand here today, that was 5 years ago. I don't have diabetes anymore. I don't have heart disease anymore. I'm not obese anymore. But my mom had it though, right? My mom had all those conditions. That's what she passed away from. So shouldn't I still have it? Why? Well, yeah, it's called your lifestyle. So genetics will set the stage. Genetics sets the stage for your life. But your lifestyle steals the show. Genetics will set the stage. Picture just a big, beautiful, Broadway show. Like the show. Wow, bring out the show. And genetics is there. It's setting the stage, right? Genetics. And then here comes lifestyle. And the show starts and the people are just like, wow. In the audience, like, wow. Oh my God. Wow. Freaking lifestyle. Stole the damn show. So here we go. Let's talk about A1C. So no, genetics it's part of it, but it's not it's at the end of the day, it's about choices. That's what it's about. It's not about your genetics. It's about choices. That's what it's about. So like I said earlier, change begins when you stop letting your old story define your future self. That's when change begins. All right, let's get to the board, folks. Let's get to it. We're going to talk about all things A1C, folks. Do me a favor, bebop that screen, man. Share this live out with anybody that you know that's struggling. Bring up both my cameras. I got a couple cameras over here. Give me a second to set up, and then boom. Let me see here. All right. All right, here we go. Okay, let's go a little higher. All right, there we go. That's good. Can we see it on both? See if we can see it on both cameras. There we go, folks. Making sure I'm not in the way. All right, here we go. Lifestyle medicine is what I focus on. Lifestyle medicine. But the very first thing before we understand lifestyle medicine, here's what we got to understand first. We got to understand, what does it mean to actually have diabetes? Right? What is it that we're trying to fix? If we don't know what we're trying to fix, then if I give you the solution, you're not going to do it. You ain't going to do it because you don't know what it is. You don't know what diabetes is. You don't know what insulin resistance is. You don't know what it means to have a high A1C. Then once you know what it is, then you can fix it. You can fix it. It's just like in the movies. When you're fighting a villain, you got to know everything that there is about this villain. If not, the villain is going to whoop your butt. If you don't know the weak spots of the villain, he's going to whoop your butt. So who's heard of hemoglobin A1C? Hemoglobin A1C. Who's ever gone to the doctor and gotten their hemoglobin A1C checked? Or who's ever gone to the doctor and the doctor says, like, listen, you're anemic. You're anemic. You've got your iron is low. Put a me in the chat if that's ever happened to you. If you've gone to the doctor and they're like, listen, you're anemic, boss. You know, you got low iron. Anybody that ever happened to anybody? Put a me in the chat. Yeah, put a me in the chat. Any me's over here? No me's over here. Okay, yep. Yeah, quite a few people have. Quite a few people have gone to the doctor and the doctor says that their hemoglobin A1C is, their hemoglobin is low. So therefore they're anemic. Here's what that means, folks. Here's why this is so important. The word hemo means iron and oxygen rich blood. Iron and oxygen rich blood are literally flowing through every cell of your body. And with the oxygen rich blood literally flowing through every cell of your body, that's very, very, very important stuff. So it's basically oxygen. I don't know how many times you've been breathing since you've been on this live with me right now, but I'm sure you've been breathing quite a bit, haven't you? Oxygen, that stuff's very, very important. And hemoglobin is basically saying how much oxygen is your body absorbing. Is it absorbing enough for you to sustain yourself, or is it not absorbing enough? So when your hemoglobin gets low, globin means protein. So iron and oxygen being carried through every cell of your body, literally every cell of your body, your eyes, your lips, your nose, your tongue, your freaking everything. Everywhere where blood flows, that's where hemoglobin goes. So this stuff's so important. Here's how important this stuff is, folks. It's so important that if it gets too low, here's what the doctors will do. They will give you a blood transfusion. Yeah. When your blood sugar gets, when your A1C, when your hemoglobin gets so low, when your hemoglobin gets so low, like 5 or something, like less than a 5, it's so serious that they'll give you a blood transfusion. Think about that. A1C is how much sugar was actually stuck to your hemoglobin over the past 3 months. Over the past 3 months. Why 3 months? People are like, well, why 3 months, Kelley? Well, that's how long your red blood cells live. They live for 3 months. That's why you got to get that's why you can get an A1C every 3 months. Like, hey, it's the 3-month average. Because after 3 months, those other they die off. The 3 months, and then a new set comes after 3 months. So that is why you can see how much sugar was stuck to your hemoglobin over the past 3 months. Oxygen-rich blood, red blood cells, hemoglobin stuck. I said stuck because that doesn't sound like a good word, does it? When something's stuck to your finger, like when sugar is stuck to your finger, if you've ever had a lollipop or a Jolly Rancher, right, or some kind of ice cream or something, and it gets stuck to your hands, doesn't that suck? Aren't you like, ew? And you try to get it off and you can't get it off because it's so sticky? Well, just I want you to visualize that. I want you to visualize your breath, like breathing in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, oxygen-rich blood. But then again, and then I want you to imagine sugar being stuck to it. It's exactly what's happening. So that doesn't sound good, does it? I'm going to tell you, like I said, the first time, I'm going to tell y'all what this is. I'm going to tell you what it means to have a high A1C. Then we're going to talk about how to fix it. That's next. So bear with me. 4 to 30. Now that's the way the number goes. Your A1C, you can go anywhere between 4 to 30. It tells me how much percent, it's a percent, what percent of sugar has been stuck to my hemoglobin. I don't know, is it 5.7%? Is it 10%? Is it 15%? That's what the A1C number is. It's a percent of how much sugar was infecting basically your life. How much sugar is basically choking you, choking your life, choking the life out of you, because oxygen is life. 4 to 30. Who knows what happens when your percent or your A1C percent, your sugar percent, is 5.7 to 6.4? Who can tell me what that means? When your A1C, or the percentage of sugar, another way, the percentage of sugar that is stuck to your hemoglobin gets to a 5.7 to a 6.4. So you're at 5.7% to 6.4%. What does it mean? Yeah, prediabetes, somebody said. Prediabetes, yup, prediabetes, yup. Any guesses over here? Prediabetes, prediabetes. That's what it means. But to a lot of people, that still doesn't make a lot of sense. I appreciate the follow. Thank you for the follow. But for a lot of people, that still is not ringing a bell. Like, so why should I care, Kelley, that I got 5.7 to 6.4% of sugar attached to my stuck to my hemoglobin? So what? Why should I care, bro? Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. That's most people's attitude. That doesn't mean anything to them. Okay, let's up the ante a little bit. Let's find out what the most important hormone is in your body. Can we do a poll, folks? Let's do a poll. Let's find out what's the most important hormone in your body. What do you think it is over here? What do you think it is over here? The most important hormone in the body. Now, there's some important hormones in the body, some real important ones. A lot of them that are super, super, super important. But there's one that's the king. Can you tell me which one that is? It's the creme de la creme. Testosterone, someone says. Somebody says insulin. All right. Any other? Testosterone and insulin. Those are the only options we got. All right. Someone says the liver. Okay. That's an organ, but all right. I get where you're coming from. Yeah. All right. Insulin or cortisol. All right. Somebody said cortisol. Insulin or cortisol. Okay. Any other guesses? Glucagon. Glucagon something. Glucagon something. Glucagon. I think that's what you meant to say. Someone says the kidney. All right, that's an organ. All right, you get it. The brain. That's also an organ. Yeah. The skin. Those are organs, right? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some people said they don't know. All right. Cool. So here's what it is, folks. It is insulin. Insulin is the most important hormone in your stinking body. It's so important. I'm going to tell you how important it is. It's so important that if you don't have it, listen, if you don't have it, you won't survive. That's how important it is. For instance, if you are the most serious condition, one of the most serious conditions that there is this thing called type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, we're talking about type 2 diabetes on here, right? But type 1 diabetes is so serious that if they do not manually inject or insulin dependent, they have to take insulin for the rest of their life. If they do not take the insulin for the rest of their life, they will not survive, because that is how important the hormone is. You cannot survive without that hormone. So you have to manually inject it. The doctors have to give you medication all the time, and you got to take this medication for the rest of your life. That is how important that hormone is, folks. Now, you can live without some of the other hormones. You can live without cortisol and all these other hormones. Your quality of life's not going to be that great, but you can live. You'll still be kicking. Like I said, your quality of life is going to be poor, but you'll be around. If you don't have insulin, you won't be around. So, folks, this number isn't pre-diabetes means this. It means that you're becoming insulin resistant. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. I mean, you're there. You're already sick. It's just you haven't gotten really sick. So that's all it means. It means you got a percent. The percentage is starting to get there. So let's up the ante a little bit. Let's stop playing around, folks. We've been playing around way too long. What happens when your A1C gets to a 6.5 or greater? Gets to a 6.5 or greater. What do the doctors tell you then? What happens when you go to the doctor? You walk in, get your normal checkup every year. You walk in, and then they say, hey, sir, or hey, ma'am, your A1C is a 6.5. What do you think is going to happen at that point? What happens? What are they going to say? What does it mean? Who knows what it means? More meds. Yeah. Somebody said type 2 diabetes. Yeah. Thank you for the daily heart me's. They want to give you metformin. Yeah, they do. What does it mean? It means pre-diabetic metformin, Medicaid. All right. Medication, capital letters. Yeah. That's what it means, folks. And why do they want to give you this stuff? They want to give you this stuff because now you have just been diagnosed with. Same thing that happened to me. Same thing I got diagnosed with. Everything that you guys are saying is true. Because that's what happened to me. Literally 2 weeks after I took this picture. I'm going to show it to you one more time. Literally 2 weeks after I took this picture. I'm going to show it over here. Look at that right there. Literally 2 weeks after I took that picture right there. Right here. Look at this. Literally 2 weeks after I took this picture. I go to the doctor and they're like, congratulations, my good sir, 6.5. They celebrated me. My doctor celebrated me. Why? Because he thought that he was about to get some money and me be a lifelong patient with this stuff. And I just said, you know what? Nah, doc, I'm not going out like that. So here I became a diabetic. And it was at that moment, it was choice time. I could either take the blue pill, like he was about to give me, the metformin, like you guys are saying, medication time. I could have took the blue pill. We talk about the matrix, right? What's the blue pill? It's when you stay inside of the matrix. But if you take the red pill, you can get out of the matrix, can't you? You can become Neo. You can become the one in your family, can't you? But diabetes means this, folks. Diabetes means that you are now resistant. The higher the number, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, the higher the percent, 19%, 15, 20% of sugar is stuck to your life. And if something is stuck to your life and it's annoying, that's not a good thing. I'm gonna tell you what all that means. Check it out. Diabetes means this. Here's what it means to actually be a diabetic, folks. It means that the way that your body processes energy is no longer working how it should. So it's why you're always tired. It's why you're always hungry. It's why you always got sugar cravings. Because the reason that you're tired is because your energy's thrown off. The reason that you're hungry, you got cravings, is because your body doesn't know what to do with the food that you just ate. It doesn't know where to put it. So you're like confused, and your body's confused, and as a result, you get tired. And then the reason you get sugar cravings is because you want quick energy. Your body's like, give me quick energy. And what's the quick energy? Oh yeah, a Mountain Dew, Jolly Ranchers, Skittles. That's quick energy. That's why you crave sugar. It's because your energy is thrown off due to insulin resistance, due to your body being resistant to the most important hormone in the body. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like very, very bad. That sounds very, very bad. If insulin is the most important hormone in my body and I'm resistant to it, the higher the percentage, the more resistant I am becoming to the most important hormone in the body. That cannot be good. All right, so here's the thing. Prediabetes means you've got insulin resistance, just hasn't gotten bad yet. But when you start getting into these higher percents, that's when it starts to get real bad, right? And that percentage of sugar is stuck to your hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, what did we say it was? What did we say hemoglobin was, folks? Oxygen-rich blood. So I want you to think about this, man. I want you to really think about what, I'm going to tell you how to fix it right now, but I really want you to think about this and let this settle in of how serious this number is. This number is so serious that the higher the number is, the less you can expect to live, the less you can expect to be around for your family. So if you've got a responsibility of being here for your kids, you've got that responsibility. If you have a high A1C, I'm going to tell you, you're not being responsible. If you have let me say this, if you have a high A1C and you haven't done anything about it, let me say that, you're not being responsible. Because you can check out of here very, very soon, very, very quickly. My sister was 55 years old 2 years ago. She passed away 2 years ago. 2 years ago on Friday. Friday will be 2 years for her anniversary, for her passing away at the age of 55 years old. Due to what? What did she pass away from? Complications from diabetes. That's what she passed away from. My big sister, she's no longer here, at the age of 55 years old, passed away in her sleep. Why? It's because she had too much, for too many years, there was too much of a percentage of sugar that was stuck to her hemoglobin. And as a result, it choked the life out of her. And now my big sister is no longer here. So I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to think about what this number means, folks. It means, in simple terms, it means this. It means the higher the number is, the faster you're checking out of here, the faster you're digging a grave with your teeth. That's what it means. In simple terms. I don't know how to make it any more simpler. And when people are like, well, what's the solution, Kelley? We're going to talk about that next. There's a solution I'm going to tell you that most people are not going to do. Most people are going to be like, Kelley, you can take that solution and you can stick it where the sun don't shine, because I ain't doing that. So if this is making sense to y'all, folks, of what this number actually really means, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put a health yes in the chat. What's up, my man Cyrus? How you doing, Cyrus? Shout out to Whisper Boy. Put a health yes in the chat if you now understand what this number means. Now you understand the consequences of what it means to neglect this number. You got a responsibility, don't you? You've got a responsibility to your kids. You've got a responsibility to your family. You've got a responsibility. And if you're neglecting this number, you ain't being responsible. So what does it mean to be responsible? It is your ability to respond. That's what responsible means. What is your ability to respond? Now I'm going to teach you how to respond to it. We're going to talk about the solution, but it takes work, right? So right now I want to get to your questions. Very first thing, folks, if you're serious about this number, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go take the quiz right now. It's a 2-minute quiz that you can take. You take this 2-minute quiz, and this quiz will so that you can understand and learn your diabetes management style. All right? So that you can understand and learn your diabetes management style. Is 12 good? Folks, somebody just asked if 12 is good. 6.5 is the start of diabetes. Folks, when you get to a 12, that's like double. No, 12 is not good, man. 12 is, you've got too much percent. Here's what it means. I'm gonna just keep it simple. You want it, all right, let's see. All right, you want it ideal. Here's where you want it. Maybe it's not making sense. It's not making sense. All right, so that question right there lets me know that I didn't do a good job explaining this. All right, so ideally, you want that number 4.9 to 5.3. That's where you want it ideally. We start getting into the 6.5s, the 7s, the 8s, the 9s, the 10s, the 11s, and the 12s, and the 13s, and the 14s, and the 15s. No, that ain't good, bro. That's very, very bad. You're becoming resistant to the most important hormone in the body. Here's what I want you to do. I want y'all to go take the quiz. There's a 2-minute quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. Right here, watch. Click right up here, and then click the link in my bio. Click right up here, and then click on my picture again. There is a link in my bio, right? Everywhere, same as well. All right, on all the other ones, there's a link in my bio. Here's what's in my bio. I'm going to show it over here on this one. Here's what's in there. It's where you can go take the quiz. You're going to come to that. We're on a different one over here, right? So all my YTs and my FBs and all my other socials, it's there as well. But here it is, right? Here's the link. You press that, and it's going to come to something that looks like this, folks. Here's what it's going to look like, right? And here's where the quiz is, that very first one. Very first one is the quiz, right there. Take the quiz. Take the quiz. Right there. Take the quiz, folks. You take that quiz is going to tell you your diabetes management style. Very, very, very important to understand that. Because that number is going to either reveal you or it's going to expose you. A lot of people are like, Kelley, I refuse to take that test, man. I ain't taking that test, bro. That quiz, even though it's going to take me 2 minutes, because I know what I've been doing. So it's not going to reveal me or expose me. No. Most people don't want that responsibility. Remember I talked about responsibility? It is your ability to respond. Responsibility. You've got a responsibility to bring this number back down to 4.9 to 5.3 in that range. So let's get to these questions. And then I'm going to tell you how to fix it. That's next. So hang out with me for a second, and I'm going to tell you how to fix it right now. How do you fix it? That's it. 12 is sick, hospital sick. Yeah, it is. How do I reduce it? We're going to do that right now. That's next. We get that part. All right, you got that part. All right. You got that part. All right. A lot of people don't understand it. All right. I'm scheduled to do your class in 2 weeks. 6.9 needs some help. 5.9 range. You're scheduled to do my class in 2 weeks? You registered for the master class? All right. Maybe you registered for the master class. But that's it, folks. Let's get down to the next. Let's talk about how to fix it now. Because a lot of people are like, all right, I understand it now. I understand what it means to have a high A1C. I understand that I'm basically subtracting years from my life. If you want to bring your years back, you can actually lower your A1C, bring it back to this ideal range. That's what you want to do. How do we bring it back to the ideal range? It's called Maintaining your pace. No, I'm not, Yutha. I'm not selling that drink. So here we go. How do we? Here's what I'm selling. I'm selling this is what I'm selling. I'm selling that if you do not, this is the only way to get rid of diabetes. If you do not fix these areas of your life, diabetes will persist for the rest of your life. It will persist. You're going to take that blue pill, just like on the Matrix, and you will never become Neo if you just take the medication for the rest of your life. But there is another kind of medication, the best form of medication that most people won't do. Most people won't do this form of medication because it takes work. And it takes getting outside of your comfort zone. That's what it takes, getting outside of your comfort zone. So you got to maintain your pace. Because a lot of people are in the comments, how do I fix it already? How do I fix it? Like they're annoyed with me, right? But the second I'm going to tell them how to fix it, they're going to be like, I'm not doing that, Kelley. Peace. The only way that you're going to get rid of diabetes is to prescribe yourself these meds. It's not, I can't prescribe you these meds. The doctor can't prescribe you these meds. The only person that can prescribe you these meds is you. You're the only person that can prescribe yourself these meds. It's called lifestyle medicine, the most often neglected form of healing that there is. All right, it's very, very neglected. People are like, no, that takes work, Kelley. No. Maintain your pace for optimal health. PACE. Peaceful mind is the first step. The first part of it stands for peaceful mind. This is a formula, folks. It's a lifestyle medicine formula. The only way that you're going to get rid of this diabetes, I'm going to keep saying it because it's the only way. It's the way that I did it. It's the way that everybody else who's done it. You've heard the stories about people getting rid of diabetes. You've heard those stories. This is not the first time you've heard of people getting rid of diabetes. This is not the first time, this live, it's like, this is not the first time you heard that diabetes is reversible. This is not the first time you've heard that. Because you've seen the story. You've seen when people have done it. You've seen it. I know you have. But here's what they did. The work. They prescribed themselves this medication. Peaceful mind. That's the P. What's the P stand for? Peaceful mind. Cortisol. Cortisol, like I said, we talked about all these important hormones. Cortisol is another important hormone. The reason it's so important is because it'll tell you if you're in fight or flight mode. When cortisol is released, that's the stress hormone. When you get stressed, cortisol gets released. Cortisol gets released, adrenaline gets released, blood sugar gets released, insulin gets released. It's like a domino effect. Like a domino effect with this stress thing. So you got to have to get your stress under control. You're like, Kelley, well, what's fight or flight? Fight or flight, or the stress hormone, says this. Whenever you're out and about and you're getting ready to, you're walking in I grew up in Florida, and there's alligators all over the place. One thing I knew growing up in Florida is we knew never to play near a pond or a lake because there could be a hungry alligator lying just below the surface of the water. Or if you're walking through the bushes, there could be a rattlesnake. And you hear that rattlesnake, your adrenaline kicks in and your cortisol kicks in, and you release stored blood sugar from your liver, gets glycogen, it's called. It gets released because you need to have the energy to fight off the alligator. You need to have the energy to run from the snake. There's a snake in the grass. You got to run. So you get all this type of, it's why you get so strong. Like, you ever notice whenever you get angry and you just get really strong, and people will be like, man, how did you get all of that strength like that? You be like, I don't know how I got all that strength, man. I can tell you what that is. That's called adrenaline, cortisol, and more blood sugar is being released into your bloodstream to give you that energy. It's released in your bloodstream to put it into your muscles so that you can have all that energy to fight off the alligator, to fight off the snake. But if you're chronically stressed, Here's what happens. I said blood sugar goes too, right? So I want you to remember this. Where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. It's a little nursery rhyme. Where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. So wherever blood sugar goes, insulin's going to follow it. Who's getting on your nerves? Is your mother-in-law getting on your nerves? Is your spouse getting on your nerves? Is your parents getting on your nerve? Or your kids getting on your nerves? Is the traffic getting on your nerves? Is the weather getting on your nerves? Is it because it's been cloudy for a week straight, man? It's been a cloudy for weeks straight, man. I'm annoyed by this. And you get all stressed out because of the weather. You get the traffic. I live in Houston. There's a whole lot of traffic in Houston. I can get stressed out about the traffic and it's stuck in traffic jam and rush hour every, like, damn, rush hour? Shoot. You get all stressed out, right? Or you try to get off work early, like, oh, I got to beat the traffic, man. You can't control none of that. So here's the three things that you can, here's the three things that I recommend. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Those are the three M's that I recommend when it comes to stress management. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Those are the 3 M's. That's the P. Again, the only way you're going to get rid of this thing, folks. And when I tell people this one right here, the A, they're going to be like, Kelley, you are so out of your mind. I don't know what the hell I am doing that. I tell them, like, listen, you got to have it. If you ever wanted to get off of the meds, like somebody was saying they wanted to get off of the metformin, if you ever had that dream, right? If you ever had that dream, like I told you, every morning you have 2 choices. Either continue to sleep with your dreams or wake up and chase them. When you wake up in the morning, you got to maintain your pace. You got to chase this active body. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. That's all we're asking for. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. You're like, well, what's moderate intensive movement, Kelley? Can you tell me what that is, bro? What's moderate intensive movement? Here's what it is. It means that if you're on a treadmill, it means that you can talk, but you can't sing. I'm going to move over so you can see the board. It means that you can talk, but you can't sing. That's what it means to be on that treadmill. When you're on that treadmill, if you're moving your body, you're able to sing real loud, then that means that you're not maintaining your pace. We're going to have to pick up the pace. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it means. It means you can talk, but you can't sing. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, moderate intensive movement. Listen, you do that 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. You know what that means? That means, folks, right over here, that means that you still get weekends off. You still get weekends off if you do it for 5 days a week. Think it just like your work schedule. You know, you live for the weekend when you get off, like TGI. In America, we even have something called, I don't know if they do this in the other countries, but in America, we have this thing called TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, or thank goodness it's Friday. Thank God, thank goodness, whatever one you want to say. It's Friday, TGIF. So think about that. When you get to those 5 days, when you finish those 5 days of what you got to do, you get the weekend off. That means you get to binge watch your shows. You get to binge watch your shows on the weekends, Netflix and all of that stuff. No, not popcorn though, but you can binge watch your shows because you did the work. You did your 5 days. Now you got the weekend off. The 3 M's: meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Those are the 3 M's. Somebody asked what the 3 M's were. Meditation, mindfulness, meet with your therapist. Active body. I told y'all, folks, this is the medication that people, when I tell them what the work is, this is the real work. When I tell them what I did, because people are always like, Kelley, when they see me with the weight loss and all that stuff, like I'm fit now, and they're like, Kelley, you used to be obese. Like, what did you take, bro? Some people don't even recognize me. When I worked in corporate America, one guy hadn't seen me before the pandemic, right? And then after the pandemic, I lost all the weight. We are in the same department. We see the dude didn't even know who I was. I walked up to him and another guy, my old boss, and I was like, yo, what's up, guys? Blah, blah, blah. Walked up, I chopped it up with him for a second, and then I walked away. And then a couple of hours later, I see my old boss again, and I was like, yo, Kit was his name. It was like, Kit didn't know who I was, did I? He was like, No, he didn't know who you were. This is the work you're going to have to do. Active body, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. A moderate intensive movement. The C stands for, I'm going to breeze through this one. Clean eating. Clean eating. Most debated topic that there is. Eating. It's debated more than, maybe not as much as politics, but it's debated. It's debated like politics. It's debated like religion. It's debated. It's heavily debated. Right? It's heavily debated. All right? Here's what we eat. Here's what, hold on real quick, guys. Hold on real quick. I got to pause this real quick. Hold on real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, folks. Don't go. Give me 5 seconds. I'll be back. Give me 5 seconds, folks. I'll be back. All right, we're back, folks. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Had a little brief my dog's a little wacky sometimes. I gotta go handle him sometimes. But clean eating, folks. What does it mean, clean eating? Clean eating means this: whole, unprocessed, real food. Whole, unprocessed, real food. That's what it means. Something that comes from a branch, something that was grown out of the ground, something that was once had dirt on it. Something that once had dirt on it is real, whole, unprocessed foods. And then you have your lean, so fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, aka beans, your leaner cuts of protein like chicken and turkey, whatever. So whatever diet that you, whatever, like I said, nutrition is the most highly debated topic that there is. So I just tell people, like, listen, whatever it is that you prefer, here it is. Just make sure it's the leaner sources of protein: chicken, turkey, eggs, salmon, tofu, tempeh, from a plant-based folks. Now, the ones that I'm not talking about are the processed meats. This is not clean eating. This is not clean. This is not, you can get that. We can agree on that. Like with highly debated nutrition, we can agree that processed meats, we got to get rid of that. The bacons, the salamis, the sausages, right? All of that stuff, that's called the processed meat. You want to stay away from that as much as you possibly can, right? The bolognas, right? Clean eating. We're going to dive more into that. We're going to spend the whole next hour talking about clean eating. But I want to just get you understanding of what it looks like. Just a little snapshot. Clean, whole, unprocessed foods as much as you possibly can. But don't worry, save all your eating questions. Save all your eating questions next. We're going to come back to eating. I promise you, we're going to come back to that. We're going to spend the next hour on that. All right. The E, the last part of the formula. One of the most important parts of the formula, folks, is effective sleep. Effective sleep. All right. Sleep is the most abandoned pillar that there is. It's the most abandoned pillar that there is. 6 to 9 hours of sleep is what we need. 6 to 9 hours of effective sleep. Keyword is effective. I didn't just say sleep, did I? I said effective sleep. That's a very different one from sleep. Now, sleep is so important that it is when your brain reboots itself. Like all of the blood from all of the from the day. Like everything is used to recirculate your brain. So when you sleep, it's when your brain reboots itself. Okay, to basically hit the reset button for the next day, to wake up. So you wake up feeling refreshed and good and invigorated and like clear-headed and all of that stuff. Why? It's because your body did certain hormones were released at night, and everything came into play. Your circadian rhythm came into play. Yeah, and you feel great when you wake up. This is how people lose weight. You wonder why? You saw those pictures when I lost all the weight. Like, where did the weight go, Kelley? Well, the weight went away. You want to know how people lose weight, where it goes? Like, where does it physically go when you lose it? Because you can't see where does it go. You just see people lost weight, but where did all that weight go? Did it go out in the commode, in the toilet? Did it go out through your urine? No, it didn't go out there. It went out at night when you were sleeping through your breath. When you breathe out. When you breathe out at night when you're sleeping, that's where the weight goes. Now, we can dig more into effective sleep, but I'm going to tell you how these things cancel each other out, and then we're going to get to the questions. We're going to get to the questions. Here, the next day you wake up and you're automatically more insulin resistant. If you're not getting effective sleep, the very next day when you wake up, you're automatically going to be more insulin resistant. The very next day, you're going to be even more you're going to be even hungrier. You're going to go raid the fridge. You know how when you raid the fridge the very next day, you raid the fridge because you're hungry. That's because of poor sleep. That's what poor sleep causes. Check this out. They can cancel each other out. Check this. I'm going to show you how they cancel each other out. Watch this. There's another category as well. It's called, I didn't create an acronym for that, but there's 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, but I'm giving you guys 4 and put it in a cool little acronym. But there's 2 more pillars. There's how you manage your medications. It's substance abuse or illicit drugs, alcohol and medication. It's all in the same category. And then finally, it's your healthy connections with other people, relationships and connections with other people. Like, for instance, when I went to the game on Monday night, I went to the Monday night football game, and it was a very, very fun game. I was in the Oasis. I was cheering for the Buccaneers. That's the team I cheer for, but we're in Houston, so we're in hostile territory. So there were a lot of people, like when Houston was scoring, there were a lot of people looking at me like, like pointing at me like, dude, what are you doing wearing all this Buck stuff? You know what I mean? They were looking at, it was so fun at the end of the game when the Bucks ended up winning by 1 point. And I gave it right back to them. That's called healthy connections. And and you're like, man, the game was so fun. That's called healthy connections with other people. That also goes to your overall health. But for this purposes, I want you to maintain your pace. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. The E will cancel the others out. Let's just say you're working out like a champ. You're eating right. You're working out and you're eating right. But you come to me and you're like, Kelley, I can't lose the weight, man. My A1C, my numbers aren't getting any better, man. Why? Because I'm working out, right? I'm hitting the gym. I'm eating. I'm clean eating. Your definition of clean eating. Everybody has their own definition of clean eating. I'm eating clean. But then I say, well, how you sleeping? They'll be like, well, they'll start with the well stuff. Well, they'll start with that. What does that mean? That means they're getting poor sleep. And as a result, poor sleep is a stressor. Poor sleep causes you to be stressed out. And watch this. Remember what we said, what happens when you're stressed out? Adrenaline gets released. Cortisol gets released. And then blood sugar gets released. Stored blood sugar gets released. And then when the stored blood sugar gets released, remember where I said where blood sugar goes, what follows? Oh yeah, insulin follows. Where blood sugar goes, insulin follows. So folks, this is how this all comes into play. All because you were getting poor sleep. All because you were getting poor sleep. Now you started a domino effect. Now you're stressed out because lack of sleep is a stressor. Now you've got more blood sugar. Now you've got more insulin. Now you're even more insulin resistant as the years go by. The more you continue to get poor sleep, the more you're working out. Like I'm running marathons, Kelley. I'm eating salads all day, Kelley. But my A1C is still not going down. Why? I'm not losing the weight. Why? Let's dig into it. So that, folks, this is the work you're going to have to do. This is the shortcut. This is a shortcut to getting rid of diabetes. This is the only shortcut that I know of. It's the only one that I know of. Because here's the thing. When the diet and lifestyle is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Thank you for the daily heart me. Think about that. When the diet and the lifestyle are wrong, medication, the blue pill that we talked about, the blue pill is the medication is of no use. So you're just taking it basically until you're literally blue in the face. You see what I did there? You're taking the blue pill from the Matrix. You can take that stuff until you're blue in the face, and it still won't get rid of diabetes. Still won't. You can come back and you can come. I know this for a fact. You can come back in 20 years and you can tell me that I've been doing the same thing I've been doing for the last 20 years, just taking this medication until my face turned blue. And I can tell you that the second you stop taking that medication, guess what's going to happen to your blood sugar? Your blood sugar is going to go through the roof. Like the medication is holding it down right now. Like it's artificially lowering it. That's what it's doing. But the second you stop taking it, like when people stop taking the Ozempics and all that stuff, why do they gain the weight back? It's the question. The question is, when you stop taking the Ozempics and all that stuff, why do you gain the weight back? Why? Shouldn't that be the fix? The Ozempic and all of that stuff and the medication? Well, why do you gain the weight back? Well, and why do your blood sugar go back up? And your A1C and all that stuff goes back up. Why? It's because you avoided doing the work. It's because you didn't take the shortcut. There's a shortcut to this, and it's called show up, do the work, and you do it again tomorrow. This is the work. You got to show up, you got to do the work, and you got to do it again tomorrow. You got a responsibility. Remember we talked about that? A responsibility. You got a responsibility to your family, to your kids, to your wife, your spouse, whoever. Like, you need to be around, don't you? So what is your ability to, that's what responsibility means. What is your ability to respond? Okay, so you've got the diagnosis of diabetes and all of that stuff, but what is your ability to respond? That's what it means, folks. If you want to know more about this, then we're going to get to the questions right now. If you want to know where you can, I'm going to break down each of these tactics in the masterclass. It's a free masterclass right here. So click right up here and then click on my picture again. If you're over here, click the link in my bio, folks. But here it is right here. Here is where you get the masterclass. I told you where the quiz was. Here's where the quiz is, right? The quiz is the first one, right? The masterclass is the second one right here. That's where the masterclass is. What's in the masterclass? In the masterclass is I'm going to break down this whole 4-part formula that I just gave you, but I'm going to break it down even slower. I'm going to give you tactics in peaceful mind. I'm going to give you tactics in active body. I'm going to give you tactics in clean eating. I'm going to give you tactics in effective sleep. Thank you very much for the daily heart me. I'm going to give you all this stuff's free. All you got to do is pay attention. That's all you got to pay. When it comes to the quiz, when it comes to the masterclass, this link, folks, is like Disney World for a diabetic. I'm telling you, if you're diabetic, folks, it's like Disney World. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to show you. It's like Disney World. All of the goodies are there. All the goodies are there. Look at that. The quiz, the masterclass, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge where people are signing up for the challenge. Appreciate the follow. Man, there's a free PDF right there, right? All that, there's a lot of freebies. You could book a free call. Man, there's a lot of freebies. It's Disney World for a diabetic. I grew up in Florida, so in Orlando. So Disney World is in Orlando. So that is why I say, and I grew up in Disney. I auditioned to be Mickey as a kid, but I didn't get it because I was too tall. 1/4 inch too tall. And I'm only 5'2" tall. And they're telling me I'm too tall to be Mickey? That was the first time in my life that I was ever too tall for anything. I was ever too tall for anything. Right? I could barely get on the dang on rides. I could barely get on the rides. when I was a kid. I was like, I can't get on the rides because I'm too short. Here's what it is. Here's the master class right there. Go take that master class, folks. It's like Disney World for diabetics. And then after the quiz, when you say the quiz in the master class, when you say, look, ready, I'm ready for action, bro. I'm ready for that life. I'm being responsible now, Kelley. I'm ready to take my health into my own hand. I'm ready to wake up and chase my dang on dream. Well, my dream to get off metformin. That's my dream. That's my dream to get off metformin. You ready to take control of your blood sugar? All right. That's what this is. 14 days. It is a blueprint. The same blueprint that I use to go from this to this. Same blueprint that I use to go from this to this. Same exact blueprint. That's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is all about, right? Click the link in my bio, register for the quiz, register for the masterclass. It's all free. The only thing that's not free is the challenge. I got to charge you for the challenge because it's real people getting real results on the challenge. It's $99 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. But while I'm live, if you use the live discount code RESET20, it's RESET20. That is the live discount code. You're joining the challenge, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, which a couple hundred people have already done and gotten amazing results in just 2 weeks, is RESET20. You're joining the challenge for $79, right? $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Other than that, you don't have to accept the challenge. It's choice time. It's your choice. I'm just putting it out there for you. It's an offer. I'm offering you to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You don't have to accept my challenge. You can say, Kelley, take your challenge and stick it where the sun don't shine, bruh. I'm gone. Peace. I'm going to continue to take that blue pill. Peace out, bruh. And I'll say, fantastic. Do you? But for my people who want to take the red pill, that's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is all about, right? So that's it, folks. Let's get to your questions. The live discount code, like I said, it's RESET20. Let's get to these questions, man. Use meds to bring it down, but get off of it and do the work. Well, I would say the other way. I would say use your lifestyle to do the work. And then you don't even have to work, because then along the way, now once you get, let's just say if you get off the meds first, but you didn't learn how to, you took the meds and you got all your numbers down, but you didn't learn how to really maintain your pace. So now when you stop taking the meds, now you're all confused. Like, I'm confused. Like, how did I do that again? But if you do it the other way, if you do your lifestyle first, then the medication, that's my philosophy, folks. Lifestyle first, medication second. So if you do the lifestyle first, you don't even need the medication. Remember what I said? When the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Remember that one? Yeah. So lifestyle first. Why can't you lose weight while on Ozempic? Because, well, here's the thing. What do you want to do? If you're taking Ozempic, the question is, what is it that you want to do? Do you really want to get off the meds? Do you really want to lose the weight? Do you really want to do all this stuff? You're going to have to maintain your pace. That's why it's not working, because you're not maintaining your pace. That's why. And somebody just joined the challenge. Shout out to them for joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. They use the live discount code RESET20. Why? It's because they're ready to get out of the dang matrix. They're going to become Neo in their family. The one. New here. Shout out to you. Preach it, son. Thank you. Thank you kindly. All right, let's see. Questions about lifestyle medicine. Any questions on what I got to do? Kelley, I lose height. My blood sugar always high. What's the reason? Well, Sandra, I don't know when maybe just you got here, but the reason is this: you're not doing the work that's required. This is the work that's required. I know it, and I know it's painful, and I don't know it's Kelley like, oh, what? No, Kelley, I'm doing it. No, you're gonna have to have us. There's 2 seasons in life, folks. There's 2 seasons. Here's the 2 seasons. Either there's seasons of focus or there's seasons of balance. There's the 2 seasons: focus or balance. The question is, which season are you in? Are you in focus season or are you in balance season? Because you can't be focused and balanced at the same time. It can never be summer and winter in the same place at the same time. And if you've got diabetes and if you want to lose the weight and if you want to get off the meds, you got it. It's not time to be balanced. It's time to focus. What does it mean to focus? It's season of focus. It's a season. The season of focus starts right now. What's the season? What's focus means? It means follow one course until successful. That's what it means to focus. Follow one course until successful. And you keep on following that course until you're successful. It's focused. So it's not time to be balanced right now. Let's see, any more questions? Let's see. Try to get to all the questions I can. 30 minutes continuous movement or 3 separate. You can do 3 separate. Sarah, you can do 3 separate 30 minutes. She's asking about the 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of moderate intensive movement. You can do a 10-minute walk after breakfast. You could do a 10-minute walk after lunch. You could do a 10-minute walk after dinner. That's 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day of moderate intensive movement. Like I said, you'll be able to sing. If you're out walking, you should be able to sing. You should be able to talk, sorry. You should be able to talk, but you shouldn't be able to sing. That's how you got to move. That's the pace that you got to be at. Just think about that pace. Can I sing right now? Well, if I can sing, then that means I need to pick up the pace. Right? But even if you're like, you just got to be active, man. You got to be active. I'm not telling you to go out and be a world-class athlete. I'm saying that's why I specifically used the word active. I didn't say go out and be an athlete, a decathlon. I said go out and be active. That can mean playing with your kids. That can mean throwing the frisbee. That can mean like you know what I'm saying, like WWE, jump off the top rope, boom, and your kids. You can go for a fun dance. You and your girlfriends can go out for a fun dance, go line dance, and you can go stepping. Somebody said stepping earlier. You can go stepping. You know what I'm saying? Bring it back to old college days. You know what I'm saying? Stepping. Go get your sorority sisters and y'all go stepping. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by being active. You don't have to be a Michael Phelps and winning, I don't know how many gold medals he's won at the Olympics. You ain't got to do none of that. You just got to go be active. Natural sugar acceptable, like in fruits, vegetables, sweet corn, watermelon, grape, 66 years old. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in clean eating. We're going to talk about that. So don't worry. I got you. What happens when the insulin drops below 4%? Oh, you're talking about earlier when the 4%? That means that you're going to get into hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia means low blood sugar. That's what it means. Low blood sugar. And it usually comes from being insulin resistant. That's usually what it comes from. Too many years of the roller coaster. Too many years of this. Change your lifestyle, not on meds. That's it. Change lifestyle, you change your lifestyle and now you're not on meds. That's it. That is the work that you're going to have to do, people. And people are going to be like, Kelley, that's why people are going to drop off. They're going to be like, Kelley, you said that I got to do some work. Nah, bro. Nuh-uh. I'm okay. I'll stick it out with the blue pills. You'll stick it out with the blue pills until the pain gets too bad. It's terrible that it has to go this way. Human psychology, the way we're wired is terrible, right? The way human beings are it's terrible how we're wired. We're wired like this. We're wired to, we will not change unless we get in a certain amount of pain. When we get in a certain amount of pain, that is the only time that we will change. Isn't that sad, folks? That's sad. That's how we're wired. So it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's just how we're wired. We're wired to choose the path of least resistance. We're wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. So avoid pain. But when you get in enough pain, that is the only time you're going to change. Or the fear of future pain, that is the other time you'll change. That's the only 2 times that people will change. Pain and the fear of future pain. That's it. Isn't that sad, folks? That it comes to that. Prevention is better than the cure. So somebody said, yeah. Well, high blood sugar causes heart attack even if your arteries are not clogged. Yeah. Yeah. Insulin resistance is no joke, folks. It's not. I tell you, it's the underlying condition to literally everything. Heart attacks, all of that stuff. Is why my mother passed away at the age of 67 years old. What year is it now? 6 years ago. All right. I can't stay asleep and wake up every morning between the hours of 3 and 5. Yeah, what happens when you wake up at 3 and 5? What is your blood sugar doing at 3 a.m.? Right? Are you eating? The question is, are you eating right before bed? These are questions you got to ask yourself. This is why we talked about effective sleep. There's sleep hygiene. It's called sleep hygiene. What's your sleep hygiene look like? That would be the question I would ask you, Sassy Jamaican. What does your sleep hygiene look like? And if you want to know more about sleep hygiene, click the link in my bio and register for the masterclass where I break down this whole 4-part formula. Again, I'm giving you tactics in peaceful mind. I'm giving you tactics in active body, clean eating, and effective sleep. So if you're having trouble sleeping, I'd recommend you watch the masterclass. And I'd recommend that you start working on your sleep hygiene. And I talk about the sleep hygiene in that masterclass. It's 45 minutes. I'm telling you, it's for the rest of your life. You learn these stuff that I'm going to teach you, and you start doing it. Your life won't be the same. I'm telling you. You start doing this stuff, folks, your life ain't going to be the same. But that's the thing. Most people ain't going to do it. Most people, they ain't going to do it. They're going to like, they'll think about it for a little while. Think about doing it, and they'll be like, my comfort zone is calling my name. But here's what you need to understand. That everything that you want and don't have is literally outside of your comfort zone. Everything that you want and don't have is literally outside of your comfort zone. You can look at, like, you're over here, right? Think on the other side of the fence. Look at the fence over there. And everything that you want is on the other side of that fence. But to get to it, you got to climb the fence, or you got to like cut through the fence. You're going to get cut. You're going to get cut. And most people don't want to get cut because they want to stay inside of their comfort zone. But you're going to have to get cut if you ever wanted to get rid of diabetes. You ever watch Rocky IV? You watch Rocky IV? Like, I'm a big 80s buff, right? You ever watch Rocky IV when he's fighting a Russian and Rocky's getting beat up, and then all of a sudden he comes right with a right hook and he catches the Russian. He catches him. Wow. And then his corner says, he's cut. He's cut. You remember that part of the movie? All right. And then they come back to the corner, and then he says to Rocky, you see, he's not a machine. He's a man. He had to get cut to know that he was in a fight. How about golfing? Yeah, get out there and move your body, man. Golfing included. Go golf. Go, not putt-putt golfing, though. Get out there and boom. Like run to the in between the holes. Like, instead of getting on the caddy, walk to it. Walk to the holes. We're talking because golf is very, very low impact. So instead of getting on your caddy and go to the next hole, go walk to the next hole. Try that. That'll get you your 30 minutes a day. That'll get you some moderate intensive move, especially if it's hot out there. Especially if it's hot out there. You ignore my question. What's your questions, Carol? I'm not ignoring anybody's question. There's a lot of questions. So sometimes you got to put it twice. I'm not ignoring anybody's questions. It's a lot of questions. What is clean eating? We're going to talk about that right now, but it's clean, whole, unprocessed foods. Something that came from the earth, something that came from the dirt, something that once had dirt on it, right? Something that was grown from a branch, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, leaner cuts of protein like chicken and turkey and salmon and eggs and tofu and tempeh and steak, right? Whatever your source of protein is that you choose. Because like I said, I don't get into people anymore about, what they should be, what eat this, don't eat that, because I learned how highly debated nutrition is. It's so highly debated. I'm telling you, it's politics, it's religion, it's nutrition. Why does the A1C drops in the red? Why does your A1C drop in the red? Like mean like below the 4? Again, you could be many years on a glucose roller coaster. You're many years on a glucose roller coaster, the highs, the lows, the highs, the lows, the highs, the lows. Some people end up getting hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. Right? You're everything's jacked up. The glucagon, that's the hormone that brings it up, gives you more. So insulin brings your blood sugar down. Glucagon brings your blood sugar back up, and it tries to keep it between 70 and 100 at all times. That's where it tries to keep it. But if they're both screwed up or your hormones are screwed up, whew, yeah, you're gonna get some low blood sugar too. Focus is my season. That is the season. It is the season of focus, folks. It is not the season for balance. If you want to get rid of the diabetes, if you ever had plans of getting, again, if you ever had plans on getting rid of diabetes, there is a season of focus and there's a season of balance. Right now is your season of focus. You follow one course until you're successful, and you keep on until, keyword is until, successful. I can't sleep. I wake up. Yep. What about exercise? Yeah, we talked about exercise. Exercise is so important. The reason that they tell you to move is because muscles are hungry. And when muscles are hungry, they like, give me the, you want to know what muscles are hungry for? You want to know the reason that people tell you to move after you eat? Here's the reason that people tell you that everybody tells you to move after you eat. The reason why is because they realize that muscles are hungry. Muscles are hungry. What are they hungry for? What do you mean muscles are hungry, Kelley? Well, muscles are hungry for the stuff that you high in, the stuff that you got an excess in of. Muscles are hungry for that stuff. Glucose, blood sugar. Go figure. Go figure that muscles are hungry for that. Here's what I mean by hungry. When you move your body, when you go, they say go for a walk after you eat. Muscles will immediately, like, we need the energy now. So they immediately uptake the sugar that you just ate, the blood sugar that you just ate. It will immediately take that and put it into your muscles because muscles are hungry. Yes, weight training is important, right? And we talk about muscles being hungry. Weight training is important, at least 2 days a week of weight training. Reason why is because the bigger your muscles get, the more they soak up the glucose. I said they're hungry, right? So if you don't have a lot of muscles and you have diabetes, it's best to get out there and start hitting them weights. Start getting strong, start building some muscle, because that will help you in the long haul. Because the muscles will immediately soak up the glucose and they bypass the insulin. It's like, we don't even need insulin. We don't need insulin, Kelley. We don't need insulin. Say your name is Victor. We don't need insulin, Victor. We don't need, or Mary. Say your name is Mary. You don't need insulin, Mary. Because we're using our muscles and they're hungry and they need the glucose right away. They're hungry. Muscles are hungry for the very same thing that you're high in. Just think about that. Muscles are hungry for the thing that you have the most of, the thing that you have an excess of. Do we need to take any vitamins? Methylated multivitamins. You want to start off with a methylated multivitamin. Everybody, I don't care what, like I said about nutrition, it's highly debated. I don't care what diet that you're on. Could be name all the diets. You could be on any of those diets. But here's the thing. No diet has all of the nutrients. In today's world, none of the diets have all of the nutrients. So what you got to do is you got to take some vitamins, some supplements, as they call it. You got to supplement for it. So methylated multivitamins is where I would start. Start with methylated multivitamins. What is something to eat when your blood sugar keeps going low? The point is not to make it go low anyway, Terry. The point is not to make it go low. The point is to start your day off with a savory breakfast. Start your day off with a savory breakfast, right? Because one thing that I can tell you not to do is have some sugar, right? If your blood sugar is low, you can have something like that's slow releasing, like beans, for instance. Beans are a resistant starch, and they are slow releasing. They're slow releasing. It's going to make your blood sugar go more balanced, right? More balanced, give you that slower energy, slower releasing energy than that of when your blood sugar goes low. I'm going to just go get some Skittles, or I'm going to go get a Coke, or I'm going to go get I'm gonna go get a Skittles or a Coke. I'm gonna go get a piece of candy, a Snicker bar. Yeah, you do that. Your blood sugar is low, and then as soon as you do that, it's gonna go boom, right back up high again, and then it's gonna come right back down again. And then you're gonna be like, I need some more sugar. Give me some more sugar. So the point is to get rid of all. No, we don't have to do the work, Terry. We're gonna have to do the work. A lot of people don't want to do that work, man. And I get it. I get it. Can we reverse the numbness in fingers and toes on your program? When you got neuropathy, it's a process, right? Here's the thing about diabetes. You're not going to get rid of diabetes in 2 weeks. I offer a 2-week challenge. You're not going to get rid of diabetes in 2 weeks. But here's what you are going to do. You're going to make a major dent. You're going to put a major dent in it. Because I told you, it takes 3 months for those blood cells to turn over. Those red blood cells, for you to populate new blood cells. But here's the thing. You start right now. You start with those 2 weeks. We're starting to get rid of that old stuff. That old stuff is getting phased out. So by the time the 3 months come, you check your A1C again, you're going to notice that your A1C is a whole lot different. You're going to notice that you have less percentage of sugar on your hemoglobin. And as a result, if you've got less percentage of sugar on your hemoglobin, you want to know what that means? It means that you're going to live longer. That's what it means. You're going to add years back to your life. You start lowering your A1C. That's what it means. Right? Yeah. So it's an overall of 3 months. Right? Is weight training important? Yep. Do we need to take vitamins? I got that one. Can we reverse the numbness? Yeah, you can. The numbness over time. You can over time. If you continue to show up, do the work, and do it again tomorrow, yes, you can. Right? Because your body wants to heal. Your body doesn't want to have numbness. Your body doesn't want to have neuropathy. Your body doesn't want to have brain fog. Your body doesn't want to have your body doesn't want to lose its vision. Like, you think your eyes actually want to lose their vision? No, your eyes don't want to lose their vision. It's you that's a glutton for punishment. It's you. And then it's not your eyes, it's you that's a glutton for punishment. Because the eyes are like, I'm losing my sight. And you're like, well, okay, I'm losing my sight. More sugar, more birthday cake. Right? We're glutton for punishments, human beings. Crazy, ain't it? Crazy how that works. When my A1C is high, start. Yeah. Yeah, when your A1C is high, start the pace. Start maintaining your pace right now. When your A1C is high. Carol, fear of death. It's sad. I was just having a conversation about that. Yeah. Naps. All right. Why am I hungry all the time, especially in the morning? Because you're not metabolically flexible. It's because if you're severely insulin resistant, here's what it means. We're going to go for 6 more minutes on this one. Then we're going to go clean eating. Here's what it means. The reason that you're hungry is because your body, the way that your body processes energy is jacked up. That's the simplest way I can say it. If you have insulin resistance, the way that your body processes energy, what you're asking about, is totally just jacked up. It's destroyed. I don't know what kind of word you want to be. Jacked up, destroyed, whatever. It means that the food that you just can't get into the cells. So therefore, you're always tired. You're tired because the energy can't get into the cells. So you're tired. You're hungry. You asked about hungry. You're hungry because the energy from the food that you just ate can't get into the cells. So your body is like, and then you got high levels of insulin. So your body's like, store that away, store that food away that you just ate and give me some more, because we're putting that away for now because insulin is high. So when insulin is high, we got to store the stuff. We got to store the glucose away, store it away in our cells, store it away somewhere, store it away in the fat for now. But that's kind of what happens. That's why that's why you're always craving sugar. It's because somebody asked about what happens when your blood sugar gets low. They were, what do you take? Well, you got to take this lifestyle medicine. That's what you got to take. You got to correct those numbers because your body is requesting that sugar, quick energy sources, because it doesn't know what else to do. It doesn't know what else to do except for ask for sugar, which is quick energy. So how you fix that is maintaining your pace. Again, it's the work that most people won't do. That's where it is. Everything that you want and don't have is outside of your comfort zone. That's where it is. Like I said about Rocky, you got to get cut. You got to get cut to get off of these medications. You ain't just gonna wake up one day and I'm off the medication. You know what I mean? No, you're gonna have to go get cut. And like I said, most people are like, I am not getting cut, Kelley. I read a book one time called Change or Die. I read this book last year. And this book says this. This is the premise of the whole book. It says it's just a sad statement. It's 9 in 10 people would rather die than change. That's what it means. That's what the book says. Go look it up. I'm not making this book up. It says the name of the book is called Change or Die. It came out like, I don't know, 20 years ago. But I read it last year. It's like a nice thick book. But I'm gonna sum it all up for you. It says 9 in 10 people would rather die than change. Then it says this, that people aren't gonna come out and say that that's what they would rather do, pass away. They're not gonna say that. That's not gonna words that are gonna come out of their mouth. You'll hear stuff like this. Oh, I want to live. I want to get off the meds. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. That's what they want to do. But then at the end of the day, when it comes to, well, what action did you put behind that? Are you saying that that's what you wanted to do? And you'll look back and you'll be like, I didn't put any action, bro. I was just saying it because it sounded good. It sounded good. But I really didn't have any plans on doing that. This is what the book says, and they proved it. The studies that they did, 9 in 10 people, their actions said, this is exactly what I would rather die than change. That's what their actions say. And sure enough, yeah. So what you do speaks so loudly that people can't hear what you're saying. Lots of discipline. 4%, 4% to what is good? 4% to what? Anywhere between, it's going to go, you don't want it to go before. You want it to go 4.9 to about 5.3. 4 is kind of low, right? So you want it to go 4.9 to 5.3, Carol. I can make green smoothies. Will that help? Yeah, green smoothies will help. Green smoothies will help, sure. Absolutely. Right? Trudy, you said Era sounds amazing. What do you mean Era sounds amazing? Sammy, you new here. Shout out to you for being new. A1C 5.9. I have elevated liver enzymes. Yeah. Yeah. These are just all the stuff that y'all are telling me, folks. It's just a check engine light. I just want y'all to, I'm going to put it in the simplest terms as possible. All the stuff that y'all are telling me about what conditions that you have, this or that, and it just simply means this. And I just like to keep things simple with people. It just means that your check engine light has come on. It means that your check engine light has come on and you got to go get your vehicle serviced. You got to go get it serviced. And it's not by taking you got to go take your Jiffy Lube or wherever, Firestone, wherever. People take better care of their cars than they do their own body. Can you imagine that? Because when the check engine light comes on in the car, in our body, you know what we do? Yeah, we'll go to the doctor. We'll go to the doctor and the doctor will say, hey, take this medication. And you'll be like, oh, okay. We'll just fall in line with it. And then, all right, cool. But you know where that goes. You've seen where that goes. It usually means the people's engine locking up. Get that check engine light. If you don't get it checked on, your engine is going to lock up eventually. And it's the same thing that's going to happen with your body. It's eventually going to lock up. But then you'll be like, dang, I wish I would have changed. I wish I would have changed. But by that time, they're playing your song. They're playing taps. But you should have changed a long time ago. But you decided to stick it out because you want to stay inside of your comfort zone. And as a consequence, you left out of here about 15, 20 years too soon. Dealing with my eyesight right now. Just had eye surgery. Yeah. The question, it's real stuff. Somebody asked, I'm hungry at 8 p.m., right? We're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you why you're hungry. The glucose roller coaster. How long does it take to get off the meds? Well, how focused are you? How focused are you on doing the work? That's the question. Are you somewhat focused? Or is it season? What season is it for you? Is it the season of balance or is it the season of focus? Because if it's the season of focus, You can get over that thing in as little as 2 weeks. Right? But that's why I created the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for my people who are serious about focus. If you're focused, if you're serious about real focus, for 14 days, we're going to focus. We're going to follow one course until successful. At the end of those 14 days, you're going to be successful. Just like everybody else. There's a couple hundred people who have joined the challenge, right? But again, just because you join the challenge doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do the work, right? It is a challenge, by the way. It is going to get hard. I told you you're going to have to get cut. You hang out with me for 2 weeks, you're going to get cut. You're going to be like, Kelley, oh, this sucks, brah. And I was like, well, are you willing to get cut? How quickly can you get off the medications? How many cuts are you willing to accept? How cut up are you willing to get? Hang out with me for 2 weeks. You're going to get cut up. But at the end of those 2 weeks, those wounds are going to heal, and you're going to be so much better for it because you're going to be on the other side of high blood sugar. All right. What's A1C? You missed that one, man. We were here earlier. Dealing with my eyesight right now. And then we're going to get back to we're going to get the clean eating right now. Is organic plant protein okay to drink if you miss a meal? Yeah, it is. That one is. That one's a decent one. That one's a decent one. Sassy Jamaica. Have willpower also to maintain pace, right? It's not about willpower, right? It's not about willpower to maintain your pace. It's about discipline. So what's the discipline? Discipline is waking up and doing the necessary things to achieve a desired result. That's the definition of discipline. Doing the necessary things to achieve a desired result. Right? What is the necessary things to achieve that desired result? Here it is. It's the success formula. It's a few simple disciplines practiced every day. A few simple disciplines practiced every day. Right? Do fruits make your sugar go up? They do. They do. You can eat fruits. You just got to eat them. We're going to talk about clean eating right now. But yeah, they do. Are you plant forward? Yeah. More plants in your diet, the better, right? Eat whole fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, beans, right? Throw all of that in your diet. Everything, throw it all, a big variety of stuff. So plants, yeah. Fruits and vegetables, you damn right. Eat your fruits and vegetables, folks. What is the average weight for a Black woman to be ideal pace? Their ideal weight is, there's no such thing as their ideal weight. It's like, what fits your body? What works for you? It's not about being a Black woman. It's about what fits you. You know what I'm saying? Do you recommend the feel-good system? Here's what I recommend. I recommend that you do the work. The feel-great system and all of that other stuff, it's just the same. It's just the same. It's just like berberine and all that. It's a supplement. It's not the end-all be-all. It's not the end-all be-all. It's a supplement. The end-all be-all is right here, doing the work. There are no shortcuts. The reason you're asking that is because you want to know about a shortcut. I'm going to give you the shortcut. You want to know what the shortcut is? Here's the shortcut. The feel great, right? The feel great system, like you were saying. Here's the shortcut to feel great. Show up, do the work, and do it again tomorrow. It's the ultimate shortcut. That's it. To feel great. Hope I answered that question. A CMOS. All right, here we go. There's a lot of questions. So let's get to the clean eating, folks. Let's get to clean eating. A lot of folks are asking about the questions. Can we get off of insulin? Again, the red pill. This is the last question. Then we're gonna get to clean eating. The red pill or the blue pill? Can you get off of insulin? Now, I'm not your doctor. I can't prescribe you medication and all that stuff. You can prescribe yourself the medication. I can't tell you to get off the medication. I can't tell you. I'm not your doctor. This is not medical advice. But what I can tell you is people who have been hanging out with me for 2 weeks, they'll come in and they'll tell their story or their insulin stories. They hang out with me for 2 weeks in the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That little thing called insulin. Oh, they go back to the doctor. The doctor's, what the hell did you do? What have you been doing what have you been doing since the last time I checked on you? We're like, well, I put in the work. And as a result, the doctor's like, oh, that little insulin thing? Yeah. Fast acting insulin? Yeah. Because that's how quickly your body wants to heal. Your body doesn't want to have high insulin levels. The reason that you have to take so much insulin is because your cells have become so resistant to it because you've been resisting doing the work for many, many years. And as a result, you got to take more and more and more insulin. But if you do the work, people are like, well, how long does it take to get off of the medication? Depends on how focused you are on doing the work. A few simple disciplines practiced every day. Sea moss is not that. Sea moss is great. It's a great mineral. I mean, great vitamin minerals and all that stuff. But again, it's a supplement. That's the same thing. It's not the end all be all. A lot of people think that they can just take sea moss and then they can just eat whatever they want and whenever they want, and it's just some magic pill. It's not a magic pill. It's great when you use it with your lifestyle medicine. It's a great add-on, a great bonus. But don't just say, I'm gonna pop sea moss and then I'm gonna just go eat McDonald's every day. Nah, I'm gonna drink Diet Coke. Is Diet Coke okay? No, it is not. We're gonna talk about that in clean eating right now. Clean eating. So that's it, folks. I'm gonna show y'all, and then we're gonna get back to the board. So I answered all your questions. We're gonna get back to the board. Here's what I want y'all to do. Register for the quiz. Register for the masterclass. If you've gotten to the point where change isn't just desired, like I know I'm up here, Kelley. I'm up here 4 hours every day. I know people listen to me, but some people have gotten to the point where some people just want to listen. They just want to take in the information and they just want to listen. They're not at the point where the pain is bad enough yet for them to take action. And I get it. But for my people who are at that point where the change isn't just desired, it's downright necessary, take the quiz. It's a 2-minute quiz that you can take. Click that link in my bio, right? And register for the quiz. Same thing over here. Click the link in my bio and take the quiz. You're going to come up with something that looks like this. You're going to come here. And then we're going to talk about clean eating next. You're going to come right here. That's where he's going to look, right here. You see that? What's there? The quiz, the master class, and the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This is where everything is. What's there? What's the reset? Or the quiz is going to basically tell you how you've been managing your condition. Have you been doing a good job or have you been ignoring the condition? And this is why a lot of people won't take the test. They're like, Kelley, I'm not taking that test. Are you freaking crazy? And when I take that test and it gives me my results, now I'm responsible for knowing what these results are. Thank you for the Daily Heart Me. Now I'm responsible for knowing that I've been messing around for the last 10 years. Now I'm responsible for that. And most people don't want to take that responsibility. They're like, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I got something for it. Yeah, here it goes. Here's what I wrote down. I wrote this down. Your mind keeps you safe. If you don't face it, I can't fail at it, right? Yeah, that's it. Your mind, it'll keep you safe. So you say that your mind says, if you don't fail at it, if you don't face it, you can't fail at it, right? That's what that quiz is going to. That's why people ain't going to take that quiz. They're like, I'm not facing that, bro. Right here. Quiz, masterclass, where I break down the 4-part formula: peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. Go. It's a free class. Go. It's free. All you got to pay is attention. That's it. Next is there's a PDF down here as well. See the PDF down there as well? Free PDF. Even if you don't want to read it, even if you're like, Kelley, I can't stand the sound of your freaking voice, boy, sir. I can't stand the sound of your voice, Kelley. I don't even like the way you look, Kelley. So I was like, okay, great. If you don't like the sound of my voice, if you don't like my style, if you don't like my delivery, there's another. I told you it's Disney World for a diabetic. You can actually click that link right there and you can go download it. You can go download it and you can read it. You can read it and like, I don't even got to hear that guy anymore. Right? So there's no excuses, folks. And then finally, for my people who are ready for serious change, right here. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge right here. You join the challenge. It's a blueprint. Appreciate the follow. It is a blueprint. This is for people who are ready to take control of their blood sugar. Now, it's not for everybody, and I get that. I get that it's not for everybody. It's only for the action takers. It's only for the people who have gotten in enough pain that says, enough is enough, Kelley. Enough is enough, diabetes. It's time for me to go fight. It's time for me to go fight what I actually want. That's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is about. It's $99 to join the challenge. But while I'm live, if you use that live discount code, reset20, reset20. I'm going to put it right here. You're joining the challenge for $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, where I will be your personal tour guide for 14 days. And at the end of those 14 days, that's why it says take back control of your type 2 diabetes in just 14 days. You hang out with me and you're going to be one of the success stories, just like everybody else who comes on here and they tell their story about how their blood sugar went from 282 on day 1, and then day 14, the last day, she had 1 day to go. It was at a 102. We're getting ready to celebrate. We're getting ready to celebrate her going into the underneath the hundreds. When she gets underneath that 100, that's what we're going to do. We're going to celebrate her. We're going to celebrate them when they get below that 100, because that means that now they're back in the normal range, right? That's what it means. That's just one of the stories. Or someone a couple of days ago, Lisa, hers was at a 360. When they started day 1 of the challenge, 360. Just the other day, she was at a 104, I think she said. Right? Just the other day, 104. People are saying it's the best decision they ever made in their life is to invest in themselves. So the reason I can't give you the challenge for free is because there's real people getting real results. I would give it to you for free, but I know if I give it to you for free, you are not. And then when it gets hard, when you start getting cut, you're going to be like, no, Kelley, I'm going back to the corner. Stop the fight. Have the corner throw in the towel. The fight's over. I don't want to get cut anymore because it was free. You gave it to me for free. And when it got hard, I didn't value it. So therefore, I'm going to go back to my comfort zone. And I'm not going to go through the fire. All right. Reset 20, join the challenge. All right. Anyway, enough about that. Any questions? Let's get to it. I need your help but I guess when I get back to work, I will join. Yeah, Chris, we got you, man. We got you. Send me a message, send me a DM. We got you. I'm not hard to find. All right. Here we go. I can't get in, Kelley. Where can't you get in? You can't get in where? Carol, where can't you get in? Be more specific. I need your help. All right, cool. Can beetroot lower your A1C? It helps. It helps. I'm ready. Shall I live or not? Shall I live and not die? That's it. You got a choice. We got a choice, Starrin. You got a choice. Should you do the work or should you not do the work? Should you take the blue pill? That's why he gave Neo the choices. Blue pill or red pill, bro? Neo chose the red pill. Quiz masterclass. Click right up here. Click here. Follow me, Carol, right here. You following me? Right here. Click where? I'm going to show you where to click. Right here. You got it? You see that? You see me smiling right there? Click that. And then there's my picture again. Click on my face again. Click on my picture again. Click on it. You clicked on it? Not anything else, my actual face. And then you'll have a link that'll come like this. You'll come to a link like this. Right here. Here's where the link is. For my other folks over there, it's over there as well. Oops. You're going to come to a link like this. You're going to come to something that looks like that. And then you click that little link right there. It says link tree. That's where you'll find it. That's where you'll find it. So it's 3 clicks. Click right here. Click on my face again. And then click the link. 3. Here we go. Quite welcome. Clean eating. Let's talk about it now. Everybody's favorite topic, clean eating. People are like, well, how can I eat clean, Kelley? What's clean eating? It's very, very highly debated. What is that? I don't know what that is. All right. Do me a favor, folks. When they tell you that you got to lose the weight, when they say, hey, listen, it's time to lose the weight. But you got to lose the weight. You got to lose like 50 pounds. We got to lose like 60 pounds. But to say to do that, how you lose it is you got to count your calories, or you got to weigh your food, or you got to count your macronutrients. Who enjoys doing that? Or who hates doing that? If you hate doing that, put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat if you hate counting calories. If you hate weighing your food, if you hate all of that stuff, put a me in the chat. I'm going to get some water while y'all do that. Me. Got some me's. Got some me's. I hate counting anything. What did it say? I hate counting anything and weighing it. Yeah, you hate it. The question is, why do you hate it? Well, you hate it because it takes work. The one thing that human beings don't want to do is work, right? Because we want to choose the path of least resistance. We want to preserve the most amount of energy that we can. This is why whenever you got to just like, you're trying to buy something, or like you say you're online and you're trying to buy something and you got to do a whole bunch of dang on reading and all that stuff, you be like, man, I don't want to do all that freaking reading. Why? It's because it's painful. So you want to avoid that. So counting calories, putting out your phone and pulling out your phone and doing this, it's painful. Human beings want to avoid pain. That's pain. We don't want to count all these calories. But what if there were a different way to do it? What if there were a different way to eat, folks? What if there were a simpler way to do it? There actually is a simpler way to do it. And what it's called the clean eating plate. This is what I've been doing the last 4 or 5 years since I lost all the weight. No more weight, no more obesity, no more diabetes, no more none of that. What have I been doing the last 4 or 5 years? Here's what I've been doing. I lost 39 pounds. Lost 39 pounds, regained. Then you regained it? Okay. Yeah. That's what we talk about, right? Clean eating. Here's a plate. I'm going to start filling in some numbers. 25%. Oops, not 25. 50%. 25%. 25%. 50% what? So somebody asked me earlier, do I believe in eating plants? You're damn right I believe in eating plants. And my plant forward was the question that they asked. And here it is. Veggies. 50% veggies. You eat this way, folks. You start eating this way. Instead of doing all the calorie counting and all that stuff, there's an actually, yeah, Vivian. Vivian hates it over there. Shout out to you, Vivian. She hates it. 50% veggies. Well, what kind of veggies? Well, non-starchy veggies. I'm going to get on this side so you can see better. Non-starchy veggies. What are non-starchy veggies? I'm going to give you some, but there's a whole bunch of them. There's asparagus, there's broccoli, there's cauliflower, there's onions, there's mushrooms. Even though mushrooms are fungus, I know people are going to give me hell. That's not a mushroom's not a vegetable. You don't know what you're talking about. All right, mushroom's not a vegetable. It's a fungus, but I'm going to put it in the vegetable category today. All right. So for all my haters out there. Cabbage, what else? Arugula, spinach, collard greens, the collards, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's a whole bunch more, but these are just some of them. Non-starchy veggies. Fill your plate with 50% of that. Check this out. 25%. Now I'm going to start to up the ante. 25% protein and fats. Proteins and fats. 25%. Let me that's a funky looking protein. Let me make that look better. Proteins and fats. Right? Hold on. Give me 1 second. 25% proteins and fats. What kind of proteins? The ones that we talked about earlier. Remember the ones that we talked about earlier? The leaner sources of protein. like chicken and beef and lamb and fish and turkey and all of that stuff, salmon, tofu, tempeh, right? Plant forward stuff we're talking about for my folks on the plant-based diets. Tofu and tempeh, TVP, texturized vegetable protein. That's what TVP stands for. Leaner sources. Now, the one that I'm not talking about are these. The one that I'm not talking about is this. Processed meats like salami, bacon, bologna. What else? All of the deli, all the deli meats, right? The boudin. If you're from Louisiana, if we got any folks from Louisiana, shout out to my Louisianans. You got your boudin. Hot dogs. There you go. That's another good one. Hot dogs is another processed meat. So don't be on the 4th of July competing in the hot dog eating contest, competing against Joey Chestnut. Joey Chestnut is the guy who wins the hot dog eating contest every single year. Don't get in that contest, folks, and eat those hot dogs. That's processed meat. You don't want to eat those. That's not clean eating. Fats, healthy fats, avocados, nuts and seeds. The oils, the only 3 oils that are approved: olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. The only 3 oils that we're approving is avocado, coconut, olive. If it ain't any of those 3 oils, throw it out. Those are the only 3 oils that we approve. Now, things that I'm not talking about are things that again, it's a highly debated topic, right? So I tell people, like, listen, I don't necessarily recommend dairy, cheese, and all that stuff, but I know people are going to do it anyway. But I'm just letting you know that it's not part of the clean eating. It's not in the clean eating category. People going to eat it anyway. But if you watch this documentary, it's not a documentary, it's a lecture by a man called Walter Veith. He's a zoologist. It's called Utterly Amazing. That's the name of the lecture. It's called Utterly Amazing. It's about 80 minutes long. You watch Utterly Amazing. By the end of that 80 minutes, you'll understand what the hell dairy is. You'll understand what the hell cheese is, and you're gonna be stuck with a choice. He's a zoologist. You know what a zoologist does? He means he studies animals. He studies things like milk and things like that. When you watch that, it's going to, if you love dairy, if you love cheese, don't watch that one. Just forget I even said that and just continue to do what you do. But again, I'm telling you, I don't put it in the clean eating category for fats. But avocados, nuts and seeds, single ingredient peanut butter, yeah. Single ingredient almond butter, yeah. Olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, yeah. Right? All right. Last category is carbs. I need a better one. Last category is carbs. And then I'm going to put fruit over here as well, because they hang out together. Carbohydrates, fruit. What kind of carbohydrates? Carbohydrates like this. Complex carbohydrates. Udderly. UDDER. UDDER. Utterly. Like the udder from a cow. It's utterly amazing. Okay. Just put that in. You'll see it's Walter Veith. That's the guy. You'll see it. Carbs and fruit. What kind of carbs? Complex carbs. You can eat any kind of carbs that you want. Here's the reason that you can eat any kind of carbs that you want. In my clean eating book, you can eat any kind of carbs that you want because we're obeying a very specific rule over here. It's why I got a down arrow over here. You don't see any arrows over here, right? But you do see a down arrow over here. That means that you can go, when it comes to the percentages, that means that you can go down on the carbs, but you can't go up on the carbs. You can go down, but you can't go up, folks. Right? You can go down, but you can't go up. So you can go down to 0%. You can go down to 20. You can go down to 20%, 15%, 10%, 5%. You can even go all the way down to 0%. You can even go all the way down to 0% because you don't actually need the carbohydrates. They're great to have, but you don't actually need them. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But what kind of carbohydrates? Rice, What kind of rice? Whatever kind of rice you want. You just obeying a specific rule. White, brown, black, wild, whatever kind. Corn, I mean, not corn, but potatoes, quinoa, all right? Fruits, whatever kind of fruit that you want, as long as you obey the specific rule, but preferably lower glycemic index fruits. Lower glycemic index fruits, like berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, kiwis, peaches. These are fruits that are low on the glycemic index scale, meaning they're not going to spike your blood sugar. You can eat a pineapple, but there's a very specific rule when it comes to eating the pineapple. I tell you can eat whatever kind of fruit that you want. It says, I'm going to teach you how to eat the fruit the safe way. If you're suffering from diabetes, you should just not be waking up in the morning and eating a pineapple or eating a banana. You shouldn't wake up and do that, especially on an empty stomach. There's certain rules that you got to follow. You can eat them, you just follow it a certain way. Think of fruit. Here's how you think of fruit. Think of fruit that's the same way that pineapple you asked about. Think of fruit the exact same way that you would think about a dessert. You know how you think about dessert? The patty pies and all that stuff. Patty pies, Nacho Mama's banana pudding, apple pies and ice cream and all of that stuff. You know how you think about that? When do you eat that? You eat that after a meal, don't you? You eat that as a dessert, don't you? Well, I want you to think of fruit the same way. Have whatever kind of fruit that you want. Just make sure you eat it as a dessert. Okay? Just think of it. That's the simplest way I can say it. That will help your blood sugar stay stable, prevent the spikes. Because if you eat it on an empty stomach, here's what's going to happen. Here's the order which you eat your food. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Everybody see that? It's not my marker's sucking right now. I need to get some new ones. They go dry pretty quickly. But 1, 2, 3. Eat your veggies first. You've heard that before. The reason you want to eat your veggies first on the plate, look, you can make this thing so simple, folks. You can make it so simple that all you got to do is get yourself one of these. Look, this is called a clean eating plate. That's what it's called right over here. Look, it's called a clean eating plate. Here's a couple of places you can get this clean eating plate. It'll just make your life a whole lot easier. Look, 50% veggies. Didn't I say 50% veggies? Look, right there. Boom. Did I say 25% fats and proteins like that right there? Boom. Look, right here. Look, boom. 25% carbs. Look, right there. Boom. You can get yourself a clean eating plate. You can get yourself one of these from my showcase, my TikTok showcase. You can actually go get yourself a clean eating plate. Or you can go get it from wherever you want to go get it from. You can go to any place to go get these. But the best ones that I've seen are the ones that I have on my showcase because they're bigger and they're deeper. They're bigger and deeper than one of the most ones, the other ones that I've seen. I've seen some of the other ones and I'm just like, dude, where the hell did you get that little plate from? That's a tiny plate, bro. Where you get that from? Like, that's not gonna fill that. A toddler wouldn't even get satisfied off of that tiny plate. So this is the best one I've seen. You can make this thing so simple that you don't got to count any calories. You don't got to weigh your food. You just go get yourself a plate. You can take this plate with you everywhere, and it's not plastic, folks. This plate is made out of straw. You can just go get yourself a clean eating plate and make your life a whole lot easier. That's it. That's what you can do. But, you know what I mean? It's totally up to you. Or you can suffer and struggle and continue to count the calories and do all that other stuff and weigh the food, the stuff that everybody says that they hate to do. But I'm like, all right, well, go get you a plate then. If you hate doing all that stuff. And look, 1, 2, 3. Eat your veggies first. Veggies, look. Whole thing of, you can make yourself a beautiful stir fry and put it right there. Boom. Beautiful stir fry. 25% proteins and fats. Look, right there. Remember all the leaner sources of protein we talked about and the healthy fats? Remember that we talked about? So that's what you eat second. It's why when you go to the restaurant, they bring out the salad first. Don't they bring out the salad first when you go to the restaurant? Yeah, they do. The reason they bring it out first is because get you warmed up, get those enzymes warmed up, get some fiber in there, get some fiber inside of your gut. That's what the veggies are doing. They're giving you that fiber. They're giving you that protective coating of fiber. That's why fiber gets all like gooey and all kinds of stuff. That's good. That's where the blood sugar gets trapped in that. It slows it down, the protective mesh. Next is section number 2. That's your proteins and your fats. When you go to the restaurant, don't they bring out over here? When you go to the restaurant, don't they bring out the main course second? They bring out the main course second, don't they? That's why you're going to eat your proteins and fats second. And then finally, I told you about fruit, didn't I? Remember I told you about fruit? Think of fruit as a dessert. When you go to the restaurant and the waiter sees that you're done eating your food, what's the next thing that they say? Oh, yeah, they say, would you like? Thank you for the daily heart me. Don't they say, would you like? Yeah, they be like, well, would you like? Yeah. Would you like dessert? Would you like to see the dessert menu, sir? Would you like to see the dessert menu, ma'am? Would you like to do that? Don't they ask you that when you go to the restaurant? Yeah, they do. They do. I don't even have to go with you. I don't even have to go with you to the restaurant to know that they ask you that whenever you go to the restaurant. Same thing when it comes to fruits. They will never come out and say, as soon as you get to the restaurant, hey, good evening, sir, like you and your family, and hey, good evening, ma'am, and all that stuff. They'd never say, would you like to see the dessert menu? They'd never come off the rip and say that, would they? You'd be like, yo, let's get out of this place. They're talking about, would I like to see the dessert menu? I ain't even seen the regular menu yet. What are they talking about? Like, let's go, family. Let's go to another restaurant. Let's go. You guys leave. So that's what I'm saying about fruit. You wouldn't wake up in the morning and have birthday cake for breakfast, would you? Would you wake up in the morning and have birthday cake for breakfast? Over here on my other side over here. Would you wake up in the morning on this camera right here? Would you wake up in the morning and have birthday cake for breakfast? Would you have an apple pie for breakfast? They do ask about the bread roll too. The old me, yes. He said, the old me, yeah, I'd ask for an apple pie for breakfast. But the new you said, we're not doing that. That's why this is third, folks. Eat your carbs last. Eat your fruit last. Eat it as a think of carbs and fruit, carbohydrates and fruit. Think of this as pleasure. It's pleasure. You can change the percentages over there. You can change the percentage. You can go, let's say one day you come in and you're like, I want more protein today, because you got different goals. Your goal is to get swole. Your goal is to get big. Like, you want to get into the gym. You want to build some muscle. So you're like, I need more protein, Kelley. I need more than the 50% veggies. It's like, okay, cool. You need more than 50% veggies? Let's do this then. Let's split the plate. Let's put your protein there then. Let's put 50% protein, or we can even go 75% protein, depending on what your goals are. And then you can go some vegetables over here, or maybe some carbohydrates or fruit, or whatever you desire. You can fix your plate however you desire. It's just that you do not break this rule of going higher on the carbohydrates. You do not go more than this on the carbohydrates. And stacking it does not count. They'll be like, some people like smart, like, well, I'm going to get smart, Kelley. You said that I just had to eat this 25%, but you didn't say that I couldn't stack it, Kelley. You didn't say that I couldn't stack this thing all the way to the top, right? You didn't say that. And then they'll hit me up and be like, Kelley, I'm not losing weight. Well, have you been playing upwards? When I was a kid, my mother and I used to play Scrabble all the time. We used to play Scrabble a lot. Her and I just playing Scrabble at the kitchen table. She'd beat me like 60% of the time. And then we got into a different game. It's called Upwards. You ever play Upwards? It's like Scrabble, but you can stack the words. You can stack the letters. It's called Upwards. It's the same thing as Scrabble, but you can just stack the words. Don't do that when you eat your plate. When your plate, don't stack it. Don't play upwards. Play Scrabble. Just keep it nice and flat. Play Scrabble, not upwards. When it comes to eating, just every time you eat and you got your plate, Kelley said, play Scrabble, not upwards. Play Scrabble. When you're fixing your plate, I'm playing Scrabble. I'm not playing upwards. I'm not playing upwards. You get what I'm saying? All right. If this is making sense to y'all folks, we got more to tap into in this. We're just scratching the surface on this, but we got more to tap into on this, folks. Now, this is making sense to y'all. Put a health yes in the chat. This is making sense to y'all. This is like some old foreign stuff. Like if you're even more confused than you were when in the beginning, like let me know, right? But if this is making sense to you, put a health yes in the chat. But if you're more confused than you were in the beginning, put I'm still confused. And we'll make it even simpler for you. I mean, all right? We'll make it even simpler for you. But if this is making sense, put a health yes in the chat. Over here, to put a health yes in the chat if this is making sense to you. What's up, Lisa? How you doing, Lisa? Shout out to you, Lisa. Oh, that was a while ago. That was like a long time ago. Here we go. Health yes. Let's see. Let's see how many health yeses we got. Yes. Health yes. Health yes. Wait, I'm late. What are the percentages of 50% veggies? 50% veggie. We're going to get into the questions. Here we go. We're going to start answering all your questions. But give me a second, folks. I'm going to go use the little boys' room. A little break. We've been up here for 2.5 hours. So let me go to the little boys' room, and I'll be back, folks. I'm going to be back in 2 shakes of a monkey's tail. I'll be back. Let me put my phone on the charger. Think of your questions. While I'm gone, folks, do me a favor. Click, bebop that screen, share, bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with diabetes. Let's try to get this thing to at least 15,000. Can I at least get to 15,000, folks? I'm telling you, I thought that I'd be doing a good job on these things, but y'all let me know that I am doing a terrible job. And again, I apologize to y'all yesterday for not doing a great job, but I'm back again today because I don't think you guys are liking what I'm saying. I think it might be the truth bombs that I'm laying on you guys. You're like, nah, I don't like that, Kelley. So I'm not tapping the screen on that one. No, brother. But that's okay. Click the link in my bio, register for the quiz, register for the masterclass, and then register for the join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for the people. I'm just kidding, guys. You guys don't have to tap the screen. It's okay. I'm just giving you guys a hard time because I know you're listening, learning, and all that stuff. I get it. I just like to give you a hard time. But anyhow, register for the quiz, register for the masterclass, and then register for my serious action takers, for the people who have gotten to the point where change isn't just desired. I mean, it's downright necessary. Like, I need to change, and this is not even funny because I got a responsibility to my kids. My kids need their father. My kids need their mother. I want to go play with my grandkids. I got my grandkids. My grandkids are young. I'm still young. I'm like 67. I got grandkids, but my A1C is real high. No. You're supposed to be hanging out with your grandkids. You got a responsibility to your grandkids. Click the link in my bio, register for the quiz, register for the masterclass. And for my action takers, for the people who have gotten to the point where they're ready to take responsibility, join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, where it's a blueprint. It's a blueprint. We're going to simplify all of this stuff. We're going to come back and we're going to talk more about clean eating. We're not done yet. We're going to talk more about that when I come back from this short intermission, right? But in the meantime, click the link in my bio, register for the quiz, register for the masterclass. I'll be right back. folks, we're back. Let's see if y'all stuck around or if most people left. Oh, most people stuck around. Maybe I am doing a good job. I thought you guys would have surely, like, that's our chance. Hit, that's our chance. He turned his back. Go. Hold on. Let me get some water. I thought y'all was going to be gone, bro. I thought y'all was going to be like, hell no. Excuse me. All right. Here it is. I'm having my first grandchild next month, and I wanted to be around and healthy for her. Exactly. That's it, Rosie. Shout out to Rosie. Rosie did the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Rosie got to the point. See what she just said? I'm having my first grandchild next month. Woo! Rosie did the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, and man, amazing results. 14 days. She's gonna keep on going. She's gonna keep going. Talked to her the other day. She said she's gonna keep going. She's gonna keep going strong, right? So she did the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. The reason she did it is because she has a list of whys. If you have a list of whys, you'll step outside of your comfort zone. But if you don't have enough reasons, so reasons come first, answers come second. If you got enough reasons, you'll get outside of your comfort zone and you'll go do the work that's required. You will. All right. All righty. To join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, and then I'm gonna get back to your questions. Here's where you join the challenge, folks. Click right up here. Click on my picture again. It's different over here. You just got to go click the link in my bio or a link in my description. You'll see it. There's a link. That one link is the only link in there. You'll see it. But the link's here. Here it is. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. Here it is right here. There's a link right there. There it is. You click that link. They're over here as well. The quiz, go take the quiz, folks. The masterclass, go take the masterclass. It's a free masterclass. Folks, it's free. All you got to do is go register for it. That's it. You're talking about your health. We're talking about we want to get off of the meds and get off of the metformins and get off of the lose the weight and all that stuff. And we can't go watch the masterclass, folks. God, we got it. We got to take that first step. Or like I said, even if you don't want to hear my voice, even if you're like, Kelley, I don't like your voice, bro. I don't like the way you sound. Your voice is I don't like the way you look, nothing. Okay, great. You don't have to like the way I look. You can actually go download this PDF right here and you can go read the whole formula. You can go read it. It's absolutely free. Only thing you got to pay is attention. That's it. That's all you got to pay is attention. And then lastly, for my people, just like Rosie, who joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Like I said, over a couple hundred people have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. What are we doing on the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge? Just that. We're resetting your blood sugar in 14 days. 14 days, your blood sugar is not going to look the same as it did 14 days prior. It's going to be unrecognizable, just like it was for Rosie, right? Just like it was for everybody else who does the challenge and they do it 100%. Right? Is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's called a challenge for a reason. But what are we doing? We're taking your food and we're streamlining your food. We're streamlining it. We're going to streamline the food and it's a blueprint. Here's how the challenge works. You get your shopping list. You go shopping because the shopping list is there. The recipes and all that stuff are there. So you get your shopping list. You go shop. You cook the food. You eat the food. You get the results. Yeah. Go get the food, cook the food, eat the food, just like you do every week. That's what you do every week, right? You go to the grocery store, you go get the food, you go cook the food, don't you? And then eat the food. That's what we do, right? That's in society. Go get the food, cook the food, eat the food. Well, nothing has changed in that. And when it comes to the only thing that's changed is what you're shopping for. So I'm going to give you a little bit different stuff to shop for than what you would normally shop for. I'm going to take you outside of your comfort zone for just 2 weeks. That's all it is. So you're not going to have a cow. You're not going to be like, oh my God, 2 weeks. What's going to happen to my burgers? What's going to happen to oh my gosh, what's going to happen to my Skittles? What's going to happen to all of my Cokes or whatever it is that you love? I can guarantee you that after 2 weeks, all of that stuff is all your favorite stuff that you've been missing for those 2 weeks. And it's still going to be there. It's still going to be there. And keep it. And then check this out. And think of it this way. You've been eating this stuff. We're talking about clean eating. You've been eating this stuff for all these years, all of these years. You know what it tastes like. You know exactly what it tastes like. You know exactly how you feel whenever you finish eating that stuff, because you've been doing it for so many years. It's nothing new for you anymore. So get outside of your comfort zone for 2 weeks, and I promise you, at the at the end of those 2 weeks, you're going to be stuck with a problem. You're going to have a serious problem after the 2 weeks. Just a lot of people have it. After they finish the blood sugar challenge, here's the challenge that they have. Now what do I do that my blood sugar is back in the normal range, just like Leslie's was, right? Hers was at like, I don't know, started at like 190. And now, and when she wakes up every day, it's like mid 80s every day. She's stuck with a dilemma. Should I love these results that I'm getting? My blood sugar is back in the normal range. Or should I, after 2 weeks, I'm at a fork in the road. Should I go back to all that food that I've been missing, all the stuff that I've been missing for these 2 weeks? Should I go back to that and go back to the same lifestyle I've been living? You're going to have a serious problem on your hand. And I love it. I love it when you get to that. We're like, what you going to do? I'll be like, what you going to do now? I'll be curious. What you going to do? You going to fall forward or you going to fall back? I'm curious. All right? Your actions will tell me exactly how serious you are about getting rid of this thing, right? So that's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is about. You want to join the challenge? Use the live discount code RESET20, RESET20. You'll join the challenge for not $99, but $79 to join the challenge. Everything on my page is free except for the challenge. I got to charge you for the challenge because there's serious people getting serious results. Real people getting real results. So I can't give it to you for free, or else you take it for granted. But if you use that discount code, SAVE20, $79. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Life-changing stuff right here. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? What I'm telling you, so I'm here to make money is the question. The question is, so you're here to make money. Here's the question. I'm going to pin it to the top. Thank you for asking that, Justin. So I'm here to make money. No, here's what I am telling you to do. I'm telling you that all this information that I'm giving you is free. All of it. That all this stuff that I've been up here for the last couple of hours, this is all free information. The quiz is free for you to go understand and learn your diabetes management style. That's free. The masterclass is 45 minutes that I took 45 minutes out of my day. It takes longer. The whole thing is 45 minutes, but to shoot it and record it and do all that stuff and edit it, it takes a lot longer than 45 minutes. That's absolutely free. All right. You can take that information and you can use that information because it's free. But the challenge, on the other hand, this is for people who are serious. It's an offer. You can say, take your challenge, Kelley, and you can shove it where the sun don't freaking shine. And I'd be like, great, I'll do that. But it's your choice. It's your choice. It's an offer. I'm offering. You don't have to accept it. That's why it's called a challenge. Accept the challenge or not. But the reason I got to charge you for the challenge is because I give it to you for free, Justin. You are going to take it for granted, and you're going to stop the second it gets hard. And the second someone asks you, how was Kelley's challenge? And this is what you're going to say. Oh, yeah, it sucked. Yeah. And then my reputation is destroyed because I gave it to you for free and you said that it sucked. But actually what happened is it got hard and you stopped. That's what happened. So I hope that makes sense to you, Justin. Now you're asking questions. So after 20 years, can it be reversed out? Now you're asking me questions. You just told me I was here to make money. So which one is it, Justin? I'm confused, brother. You tell me, boss. You're a funny guy. All right. Any questions? All right. Any questions on that? No more questions. All right. No more questions on that. Is equal sugar bad? We're going to talk about that. Equal is not great. Equal is terrible. That's an artificial sugar. It's an artificial sugar. All right. So no, it is not great. It's terrible. I can read. I can clearly read. I can clearly read. But your question is, so you're here to make money. I get your question. I can read. Do you understand what I'm saying? As long as we're on the same page, boss. But anyhow, beans. Beans. Woo, the great equalizer. The great equalizer. They're resistant starch. Stevia. Yeah, stevia's, yeah, you can stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Those are the sweeteners. They're asking about sweeteners. Okay, let's, before we get into that, the sweeteners. Stevia, monk fruit, allulose. If it ain't stevia, if it ain't monk fruit, if it ain't allulose, man, get rid of it. Stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Right? If it ain't stevia, if it ain't monk fruit, it ain't allulose, man, no, let's not get rid of it. I mean, let's get rid of it. All right. So all the sweet and lows and all the equals and all the aspartames and all the diet. Somebody asked about Diet Cokes early and all the Diet Cokes and all that stuff. That's not, we want to avoid that. We want to avoid that. Right? As much as we possibly can. Because all Diet Cokes is doing, it's not raising your blood sugar. You think that you're doing great because it doesn't have any sugar in it. So that's why it's not raising your blood sugar. But in the event that it is raising your insulin levels, it's raising your insulin levels, and it's also raising your insulin levels, and it's also destroying your gut. It's destroying your gut because it's artificial. It's destroying your gut bacteria. The more and more diet sodas that you drink, the more and more artificial sugars that you eat, the more and more you're damaging your gut. And it doesn't show up right away. It just shows up years down the road. Shows up years down the road, and you've got, your gut is destroyed. You can't have fiber. You can't do this. You can't do that. Why? It's because your gut is destroyed. Because of all that artificial stuff you've been giving yourself for all of these years. Date sugar, it's better, but still, it's a better option. So, but stevia, monk fruit, allulose will be your best bets, right? Date sugar is better than regular sugar, okay? But stevia, monk fruit, allulose, those will be the ones that we recommend. Beans are the great equalizers, folks. What do we mean, the great equalizers? The great equalizer says this. It says that if they're resistant starch, what's a resistant starch? It's a starch that resists digestion. You can't digest the beans. The reason you can't digest them is because here's what happens. You eat the beans. Beans are superfood. You eat the beans, and then the beans go into your tummy. And then when they go into your tummy, then they go into your small intestines. And then when they go into your small intestines, at that point, the digestion is supposed to begin. You're supposed to become, the digestion is supposed to begin at that point. Right? But with beans, they're resisting digestion. They're resistant starch. So you can't digest them. So that you're like, well, that doesn't sound good, Kelley. You can't digest them. You can't digest them. That doesn't sound good. Actually, it's great. It's great because it's called a resistant starch. When it gets into your large intestines now, right before it leaves your body, here's what happens. The large intestine says, ooh, the gut bacteria, the bacteria from your gut, they eat the fiber. So they eat the fiber from the beans. They eat the fiber from the veggies, right? They love fiber. Your gut bacteria, they love it. So you can feed the good guys with fiber, or you can feed the bad guys with all the artificial stuff and all the candy and all the junk food. We can feed them. We can feed the bad guys. All right? Sugar is sugar. It doesn't matter. Turbinado sugar. If it says sugar on the back, no, we don't. Stevia, monk fruit, allulose. All right? That's it. That's it. Beans, like I said, the great equalizer. They're resistant starch. So they're resisting digestion. So therefore, they make your blood sugar rise slowly. Instead, beans, like people are like, well, beans raise my blood sugar. Yeah, beans will raise your blood sugar, but it's doing it so slowly that the insulin has a chance to respond to it. The insulin has a chance to respond and take it. It comes in moderation. It's like, yeah, it's nice and calm. Okay, great. Now I can take that and I can bring the insulin down. It's bringing the blood sugar down normally, slowly. Like the more and more you do that, the more and more insulin resistant you become. The more and more insulin resistant you become. I mean, I'm sorry, insulin sensitive, sorry. the more and more insulin sensitive you become when you eat beans. Unless you do this, unless you break this rule, unless you eat beans and rice together. This is the one that people don't like this rule. My pen is just, this is done. My red is done. People don't like this rule. Never eat beans and rice together. Oh, you'll be like, Kelley, you had me, Kelley. You had me until you said don't eat beans and rice together. When you say don't eat beans and rice together, Kelley, woo. Why can't I eat beans and rice together, Kelley? Because when you took the beans and rice, basically you just nullified. You just combine forces. So the resistance starch kind of just goes out the window at that point. Are they still a resistance starch? Yeah. But if you're suffering from insulin resistance, you cannot mix the beans and rice together. You cannot do that. Right? You cannot eat the beans and rice together. That's the rule. You can go down on the carbs, but you can't go up. Remember that rule too? There's a lot of specific rules when it comes to these carbohydrates. You can still eat them. You got to eat them last. There's rules to the game. And the second, when you start to understand these rules, like I'm teaching you all this stuff, folks, but this is not something that you learn overnight. This is something you learn by doing. You learn this by doing this. Look, watch. Boom. Boom. That's how it goes. So my clients, they'll come to me, people who are, they're in the longer program. Here's what they'll do. As time goes by, their body will start, maybe they'll get a plateau and they won't lose weight, or something's happening, like I can't lose any more weight, but whatever. Okay. Let's go in and let's tweak your plate. Based on what your body's doing, let's go in and let's tweak your plate. Maybe we'll do 50% protein, bring down the veggies, play around with the carbs. It's like a constant go back and forth. It's like back and forth with this plate, right? You're back and forth with this plate. This plate, where do you get it? Someone's asking where you get it. You get it from my TikTok showcase, right? You get it from, you click right up here, and then you click on my picture again, and then you'll come to the showcase. But right here, you can get yourself one of these plates. I'm telling you, you get yourself one of these plates, you can play around with this board, and you'll make your life a whole lot easier. You don't got to worry about counting calories, weighing your food, doing all that crazy stuff that's time consuming and that nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to do that. So that's it, folks. It's the 10 o'clock hour. We got another hour left. Any questions left? And we're going to go to another topic. But any questions about the clean eating plate? All right. Any questions over here? Oh, what about cabbage? You got cabbage over here? Rosemary? Yes. Cabbage goes over here in the veggies, right? That's the non-starchy veggies. Yes. Cabbage is a non-starchy veggie. So yes, have cabbage, collard greens, all of that stuff. Arugula, all of the greens. All right. So yes, Rosemary, cabbage is good. All right. What about Quaker oats? No. Good question. What about oatmeal? This is the question. Oatmeal is going to be a no-go. It's going to be a big no-go. If you're suffering from insulin resistance, oatmeal in the morning is going to be a big no-go. Here's what you want to do in the morning. You want to do that's a good question. Sections 1 and 2. Sections 1 and 2, a savory breakfast. What's a savory breakfast? Remember what we talked about earlier? The healthy fats and the protein, like an avocado, protein like a chicken or a tofu, right? Depending on which diet you're eating. Or fish, whatever you eat, right? But you got veggies over here. Veggies. Non-starchy veggies. So that's what your breakfast should look like. Sections 1 and 2 only. Proteins and fats. Avocado, something like avocado and chicken, right? And broccoli. That's called a savory breakfast. Cream of wheat, the same thing. Cream of wheat, don't eat cream of wheat for breakfast. Remember, there's very specific rules when it comes to these carbohydrates. Remember that? There's very, very specific rules. Now, if you want to put some clothing on your carbs, you can do that. You can have some overnight oats with some clothing. What's clothing? Clothing is a healthy fat or a healthy protein. Healthy fat like chia seeds almond butter. You can put a scoop of protein powder in there. That's called putting clothing on your carbs. That is the only exception where you could eat oatmeal in the morning. Preferably, I don't prefer you not do it and then have it with a protein. But preferably you not do it. But if you just like, you know what, Kelley, I gotta have some oatmeal for breakfast. I gotta have my mom's pancakes for breakfast, Kelley. I got to. I'm gonna tell you, it's not a great idea to have mom's pancakes for breakfast. Sardines will go over here. Right? Sardines will go over there. Grits or no. We're not doing grits in the morning. We're going to eliminate section 3. We're going to eliminate grits. I know that's going to hurt a lot of people's hearts, especially from the South. My mom used to make the hell out of some sausage and grits and sausage and all that stuff, right? With the butter and all that stuff in there. Well, I'm here to tell you, Teresa, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, grits are not your friend. Grits ain't your friend if you suffer from insulin resistance, right? So eliminate section 3 in the morning and just focus on sections 1 and 2. That's called a savory breakfast, folks. Savory breakfast. There's my guy, Justin. All right, Justin with yogurt with fruit for breakfast. You can do, if it's a Greek yogurt, again, I don't recommend dairy. I just get that out of it. I don't really recommend dairy, but I know people are going to do it anyway. So that's why I say, hey, listen, you want to do dairy? Okay, great. But I don't really recommend it as much, but I know people are going to do it anyway. And if you do the fruit with it, make sure it's a low glycemic index fruit, like berries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, those kind of berries, kiwis. So that's why even when I only eat protein and my sugar level goes up, it's the diet soda. Yeah, the diet soda is wrecking you, right? The diet soda is wrecking you. You think that it's doing great because it's a diet soda, but it's gonna. Well, if you eat protein, your blood sugar is gonna go up a little bit anyway, right? But it's not gonna be anything that's significant. But when you start adding artificial stuff and fake sugars and all that stuff, yeah, you're throwing everything off. So yeah, get rid of all that artificial stuff. My diabetes is high to have to see the doctor next. My diabetes is so high that I have to see the doctor next week anyway to reduce sugar level. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of ways. Like I'm talking about right here. That's what we're talking about the whole time, Jennifer. That's what we've been talking about. How you reduce the sugar level is by doing the work. If you're just joining us, you might be just joining us. Click the link in my bio and register for the masterclass. It's a free masterclass that you can take. And in this masterclass, it's going to tell you your diabetes management style. I mean, not your diabetes. It's going to give you the formula. It's a formula to bring your sugar down naturally. But the thing is, there's only one catch to that. I'm going to give it to you, but the only catch that you got is you got to do the work. That's the only catch. That's the only way you're going to bring your sugar down naturally. Or if you just say you want to get rid of all the shortcut, you don't want to guess, you want to take all the guesswork out of it. Like that's all free stuff. But if you want to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? You can join the challenge. That's for people who are serious about change. That's for people who says, give me the blueprint, give me the streamline, tell me exactly what I got to do, when I got to do it, what I got to eat, when I got to eat it, what I got to shop for. It's all mapped out for you. All 42 meals are mapped out for you, right? 42 meals are mapped out for you, 14 days. All you got to do is just do the work. That's it. So that's how you lower your blood sugar. You do the work. That's it. It's the only way. I hope that makes sense. That's the only way that y'all gonna bring your A1C over here as well. Grits? No grits. No grits, Rosemary. The only way that you're going to bring your blood sugar down is by doing that doggone work. And the people will be like, again, Kelley, you've been saying that the whole time, but I'm not doing no damn work, bruh. You say, not, instead of bro, you say bruh. I'm not doing no damn work, bruh. What is wrong with you, Kelley? What's wrong with you, bruh? You think I'm gonna do the work? No. That's what most people will say. I ain't not doing the work because they know that it's hard. They know that it's challenging. See, having knowledge is not the problem, folks. Having knowledge of what to do, everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows they should be clean eating. Like everybody knows this. Everybody knows they should be clean eating. Everybody knows they should be moving their body. Everybody knows they should be eating more vegetables. Everybody knows they should be cutting out the crap. They know that. They know it. But there's a big gap between knowing and doing. A big gap, like right here, look. There's a big gap between knowing something, knowing what you got to do, and actually doing it. It's not even a gap, it's a canyon. It's a huge canyon between knowing and doing. Yeah. So you're gonna have to do the work, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. And I know that ain't what you wanted to wake up and hear this morning. Damn. I'm gonna have the ultimate shortcut to getting rid of diabetes is to show up, do the work, and do it again tomorrow. Damn it. I've been there. So I know exactly how you feel. That's exactly why I'm the right guy to be your coach. That's exactly why I'm the right guy to be your coach, because I know exactly what you are feeling. Why? Because I've been there. Because I've been there. I know exactly what you're feeling. Because I've been there. That was me on the left with diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. The triple whammy. I don't know if you've ever gone to the doctor before and they give you 3 conditions at one time. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but that happened to me. I went to the doctor in the end of 2019, 2 weeks before I took that picture, and they said, "Congratulations, son. Congratulations, son. Congratulations. You made it to the big leagues now, boy." Metformin is in your future. Lipitor is in your future. Here it is. Here's the script right here. Congratulations. That's what happened to me at the end of 2019. What about apples? Apples too. You could do apples. Just obey the rules, right? Eat it as a dessert. Eat the fruit as a dessert. On the 14-day challenge, do we continue our medication? I can't tell you to get off of your medication. I'm not your doctor. I can't do that. I'm not your doctor. I can't tell you to get off your medication. But what I can tell you this, it's always going to be like, here's what I believe. I believe this and I know this, that it should always be lifestyle first, medication second. If we can't fix it with the diet and lifestyle first, then we can talk about the medication. But I can't tell you to get off your medication because I'm not your doctor. But I can tell you that there's been many people who have accepted this challenge. And I can tell you that there's many people who have been on insulin. There's many people who have been on all different types of medications. And at the end of that, they are no longer on it. Or some people have gotten prescribed their medication. And they were like, I didn't decide not to take it. I just decided to do your challenge instead, Kelley. And the medicine just stayed on the counter. And as a result, my blood sugar went down naturally. All right. So I can't tell you to get off your meds. But I can tell you that there is people who have short, fast-acting insulin. Some people say they got off of that within 2 weeks. Within a week, I think she said. Within 6 days, I was off the fast-acting insulin. Within 6 days. Isn't that right, user 254? I don't know if user 254 is on here, but she'll come on and she tells her story. They threatened to put me on insulin. They threatened me with insulin again. Well, how do you feel about that threat? That's the question, Jennifer. How do you feel about that threat? Do you feel okay about it? Or do you feel, or is the threat so volatile, so crazy, such a drastic threat that you say, you know what, that's a big threat, doc. I'm gonna actually go do the work now. You threatened me, doc. Now I'm gonna go do the work. Or is it you say they threatened me to put me on the medication, but I don't know how I feel about that. These are questions you got to ask yourself. I can't answer these questions for you. You got to answer the questions yourself. Consistency is the key. I brought my blood sugar down. Yeah. 50 points last night with a walk. I was excited. Yeah. You can bring it down. Yes, I am not on any diabetes medications yet. Yeah, you don't want to get there. That's good. You don't want to get there. You don't want to get there at all. You don't want to get there at all. All right. All right, folks. Here's some questions over here. Are any breads good to eat? Preferably the bread is Ezekiel bread. That's the preferred bread, or you can do keto bread. But again, all of these breads are still processed. These are still processed foods. But the best option is Ezekiel bread, right? Typically, you ain't gonna be able to get that from the regular grocery store. You gotta go to like Sprouts or whatever to get Ezekiel bread. Walmart and Kroger and HEB usually ain't gonna have Ezekiel bread. Usually, you gotta go to, like I said, Sprouts or somewhere to get some Ezekiel bread. Flavored water is fine. Flavored water. It depends on what kind of flavored water. We're talking about things like Propel. Now, carbonated water with the carbonated water, okay, you can do like a little carbonated water with like a little hint of this, little hint of that. That's okay every once in a while. But if we're doing flavored waters all the time with all the sugar in it and all the artificial stuff in it, no. Propels, no, we ain't doing that. All right. Do you talk about healthy protein, or did you talk about healthy protein or a smoothie? No, smoothie. And then we're going to go on to the next topic. Smoothies, if you wake up in the morning, you can do a smoothie, but here's how you do the smoothie. You want to make sure you put a healthy fat in there, like an avocado, or if you do a fruit smoothie, like, right? If you do fruit, mangoes, or whatever you're doing, bananas, whatever, make sure you put some clothing with it. Make sure you put sections 1 and 2. Put some vegetables in there. Put some fat in there, like a healthy fat, like a avocado, or like a single ingredient peanut butter, right? Almond butter, and then throw your protein powder in there. That's going to put clothing on the fruit. That'll put clothing on the fruit. So yeah, you can have a fruit smoothie. Just make sure fruit is not the main fruit. Just make sure fruit is not the star of your smoothie. Do low glycemic index fruits like strawberries, things like, if you're doing it with all the other stuff that I said. Never just wake up in the morning and grab a fruit smoothie with nothing in it, just straight up fruit, and you put it in the blender and you drink it. Like, no. Or juice. Don't juice fruit. Eat your juice vegetables. Don't juice fruit. Juice vegetables. Don't juice fruit. What is the liquid you use other than water? Water is going to be the base of everything. Water is going to be the base of everything, right? You can do flavored water. Flavored water. Maybe you mean infused water. Someone asked about maybe infused water. So if you infuse water with, like, you have the water, and one of my favorite infused waters is cucumbers, mint leaves with a splash of orange in it. A splash of orange. That's one of my favorite ones. Right? And you put that in a cup and some nice cold water, and man, you are going to have a beautiful, nice, refreshing drink, right? But yeah, water. People ask about coffee. You can do coffee, but here's the thing about coffee. Make sure you wait 60 to 90 minutes after you wake up and go into the sun. Like, go out into the sun first and go get natural energy. Go do that first. Can you use unsweetened almond milk? Yeah, you can. But make sure you use the Yuka app. Y-U-K-A. Y-U-K-A. Right? So, all right, folks, that's it. We did a Q&A for a little bit. We went over on the Q&A. I try to answer as many questions as I can, folks. That's what I try to answer, as many questions as I can. All right. Where are we going to? Yuka. Y-U-K-A. That's the name of the app. Y-U-K-A. Yuka. Love the Yuka app. There you go. Jazz Stein. There you go. All right, here we go. Next topic. Let's see. Okay. Yesterday we did what to avoid. Today we're going to do, for the last 45 minutes. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do the glucose roller coaster. The roller coaster. You're like, well, what's the glucose roller coaster, Kelley? Here's what it is. This is why you're always tired. While I'm doing this, folks, while I'm drawing this, it's going to take me a second to draw this. Go register for the quiz. I'm going to show you all where to do everything, and then I'm going to draw this. Register for the quiz, register for the masterclass, and for my action takers, go join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Again, you don't have to. Justin, you don't have to join the challenge. I'm just putting it out as an offer. Do me a favor, folks. Let's get this thing to 20,000. Y'all got me to 15,000, but can we get to 20? Let's get this thing to 20. Bebop that screen. But here we go right here. Click this right here, and then click on my picture again. Here's where you get to all the free stuff. It's like Disney World. We're getting ready to talk about roller coasters right now. So what does roller coasters have to do with blood sugar? This is for on the other sites. But on my other sites, the link is in my description. And you're going to come to something that looks like this. Here's where all the goodies are. The quiz, the masterclass, the challenge, the PDF, book a free call. Man, it's all there. Most of the stuff on there is free. Everything on there is literally free, except for the challenge. So the masterclass is free, 45 minutes. The quiz is free. The PDF's free. Everything is free. The only thing that I got to charge you for, like I told you before, the reason I have to charge you for the challenge is because I want you to take it seriously. I want you to take it seriously. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. If I give it to you for free, you're not going to take it seriously. I promise you, you are not going to do that. And people were like, Kelley, give it to me for free. Justin, if I give it to you for free, I promise you, you're not going to take it seriously. Okay? You're not. Because it's going to get hard and you're going to stop at that point. You're going to be like, it's free. So why should I keep doing this? When it's just 14 days. $99 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. $99. But you use the live discount code, reset20. Reset20, you join that. You use that code at checkout. You join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for $79. But again, you can also tell me to go kick rocks, Kelley. I ain't joining your challenge ever. I'm not going to accept the challenge. I'm going to just continue to take this blue pill. I'll take all your free information, but when it comes to actually like putting in the work, I ain't ready for that yet. And that's fine. But there's a lot of freebies on my page. But here we go, folks. The blood sugar roller coaster. Here's the thing, folks. Here's why you're always tired. Here's why you're always hungry. Here's why you always got sugar cravings. You ever wonder why you're always tired? You ever wonder why you always got sugar cravings? You ever wondered that? Well, it's because you're not metabolically flexible. That's what it means. You're not metabolically flexible. So as a result, what does it mean to be metabolically flexible? It's just a fancy way of saying that the way that your body processes energy is jacked up. That's all it means. That's what it means to be metabolically inflexible. That's what it means. When you're on the blood sugar roller coaster, your blood sugar you're tired, then you're like, you gotta have some energy. My blood sugar's low, so I gotta have some candy. I gotta have something to raise my blood sugar real high to get it back to the normal range. 70 and 100. I'm gonna put 140 up here and I'm gonna put max. Ideally, that's where you want your blood sugar, between 70 and 100. Ideally, that's where you want it, between 70 and 100. At any given time, you want it right here, trucking along between 70 and 100. I'm going to get a new marker because my red one's going out. Between 70 and 100. That's ideally where you want it. You eat some food, it may go up for a little while, and then it'll come right back down. It'll come right back down within a couple of hours. Within a couple of hours, you're back to normal again. That's someone who's metabolically flexible. That's someone who says they can just they can eat the food, and then they're so insulin sensitive that whenever they eat the food, within a couple of hours, their blood sugar goes right back down. But here's the thing, though. When you're suffering from diabetes, when you got insulin resistance, here's what's going to happen instead. That's normal right there, right? I'm going to show you what happens when you're metabolically inflexible. Here's what happens. It's called you're on a glucose roller coaster. You see, folks, I told you I grew up in Florida. Orlando, specifically, the Orlando area. And we have so many amusement parks that you couldn't even imagine. SeaWorld, Disney World, Universal Studios, and all of the sub parks, the water parks, Water Mania, you name it, man. We got roller coasters. We got all kinds of stuff. When you eat this way, when you eat certain ways, what most people do, most people eat this way. I'm going to take you through an entire day. And I'm going to tell you why you're tired, why you're hungry. Let's say you wake up in the morning at 8 a.m. and you have your breakfast. But what do you have for breakfast this morning? Today's Wednesday, right? Let's just say on a normal Wednesday, it's just a regular everyday Wednesday. Your blood sugar is at an 85 when you wake up. In a perfect world, let's just say it's at an 85. Then all of a sudden, you eat that breakfast. You eat that pancakes for breakfast. You eat those Twinkies for breakfast. You shouldn't be eating Twinkies for breakfast, but believe it or not, some people do. Ding dongs, don't eat ding. If you eat a ding dong for breakfast, and Cheetos and all of that stuff for breakfast, what's going to happen is this. And the biscuits and the grits, like we talked about, people asking about grits and what happens when you eat grits, what happens when you eat Quaker oatmeal and all that stuff. Well, here's what happens. Your blood sugar is going to rise quickly because there's no resistance first thing in the morning. You just ate a whole bunch of ding dongs and a whole bunch of junk food, pancakes, syrup, honey, all that stuff. And your blood sugar spiked. That's called a spike. And then as quickly as it goes up, as quickly as it's going to come down, folks. And that's called a crash. So we got a spike, and then we got a crash. Spike, crash. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. you're at the office, and your blood sugar's crashing. You're at the office, 10 o'clock. What do? Oh, yeah. You go to the vending machine. You go get a Snicker bar, right? Because your blood sugar... You get your morning snack, mid-morning snack, you'll get a Snicker bar. And as a result, your blood sugar goes right back up again. Quickly. So when your blood sugar is going high like that quickly, you're coming back. You're like, ooh, I feel energy. I'm good again. But then it starts to crash again. And when it crashes, what happens when it starts to crash? That's when you start to get tired. That's when you start to get hungry. That's when you start to get sleepy, tired, hungry, sugar cravings. That's your body. That's your check engine light coming on. That's your check engine light coming on saying, hey, the food that we just ate, like it shot our blood sugar up so high and it went up so high, so fast. And now it's coming down and like we're crashing now. We don't know what to do. What do we do? So as a result, you feel tired, you feel hungry, and you get hangry. Who's ever been hangry? You've ever been hangry before? Put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat if you've ever been hangry before. That is, you've been hungry and you've been angry all at the very same time. You've been hangry before? Or is it just me? Am I the only one that's ever been hangry? When I showed you those pictures when I was overweight and obese and had diabetes, I used to get hangry all the time. Who gets hangry? Why is my blood sugar high in the morning? Well, we're talking about that right now. We're going to talk about that right now. It's called the dawn phenomenon. So what do you eat? I'm insulin resistant. You missed that part. You missed. Come back tomorrow or watch the replay. We just finished talking. We just talked about clean eating for like an hour, over an hour. Yeah. Come back tomorrow though. We'll talk more about clean eating. But no, all right. Nobody knows. No. All right. Let's get back to it then. Lunch. You go to lunch, you're at the office, and you go to lunch with your coworkers. And y'all go to somewhere really, really junky. Y'all go to like Popeyes, and you go get that beans and rice. Remember I told you not to eat that beans and rice together? But people are still going to do it anyway, especially when they go to Popeyes. They're going to get that beans and rice, and they're going to get that two-piece and a biscuit with the honey. They're going to get all of that. Or they're going to go to KFC, and they're going to get all the mashed potatoes and the gravy and the chicken and all that stuff and the biscuits and all that stuff too, KFC. Or they're going to go get the pizza for lunch. Or they're going to go to the buffet with their coworkers. And as a result, you're going to eat that lunch, your blood sugar is going to go back up again. And then you're going to be at the office, right? And then it's going to be 3 p.m. at the office. You're going to be back at your cubicle right now. Now you're back at your cubicle, and it's 3 p.m. in the middle of the afternoon, and you don't get off work until 5 p.m. You got 2 more hours of work. What happens to you every day at about 3 p.m.? About 3 p.m., what happens? What's wrong with beans and rice? If you missed that part, right? You missed that part, right? You missed that part. Come back tomorrow. We're going to talk. Come in for the whole live. You don't even have to come in for the whole live. Just come in for the clean eating part. And we talked about beans and rice for a little while, but that's not a good combination. But who knows what happens at the office 3 p.m. every day. Everything in moderation. That's what happens to you at the office every day? Everything in moderation. What happens to you at the office at about 3 p.m. You're at the cubicle. You're at your cubicle and you're doing work. And how do you feel? Let me say, what happened? How do you feel? Yep, fatigue. Yep, you crash. Yep, you crash. What else? What else happens? You get tired. Yep. What else happens? You crash, you get tired, you feel fatigued, you start yawning. What else happens? What else happens with that? This is the whole day. All right, nobody knows what else happens. But here's what happens. You also get hungry as well. Bathroom, somebody says. You also get hungry as well. You're going to go, yeah, you're hungry. There it is. But you just had a big old lunch. Well, how are you hungry? You just had a big old lunch. Well, you're hungry again because the food that you just ate, it can't be used properly because insulin is messed up. I told you what it means to not be metabolically flexible. Metabolically inflexible means your body can't process the energy correctly. So even though you ate a big lunch at 3 o'clock, at noon, 3 o'clock, you're hungry again because the energy was put away in storage. It wasn't used, it was put away in storage. So as a result, you get tired again. You're like, yo, didn't I just eat some energy? Didn't I just go? We went out with my coworkers and we ate, right? That was energy I ate, wasn't it? That's what you eat, folks, energy. And so why am I tired at 3 o'clock? If I ate energy, that's 3 hours ago. That doesn't make any sense. Well, you're tired because you're on a glucose roller coaster. That's why. That's why. It's because you're doing this. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You're feeling good. You're feeling bad. You're feeling good. You're feeling tired. You're feeling good. You're feeling hungry. You're feeling good. You got sugar cravings. That's the roller coaster. Okay. So then at 3 p.m., you go to this is what happens. I work in corporate America. I know. You go to the break room and your coworker who loves bringing donuts. You know the coworker that loves bringing donuts? She brought the donuts in today. And there's leftover donuts in the break room, and you go to the break room and you grab yourself one of those donuts, you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds, and your blood sugar goes back up again after you eat it. And then as quickly as it went up, it's going to start to come down. Now it's 7 p.m. Now it's dinner time. You're at the house. Now it's dinner time. What are we eating for dinner? Oh, yeah. What are we eating for dinner? Oh, yeah, what are we eating for dinner? Your wife, your husband, whoever, your spouse, they cook pasta for dinner. They cook baked ziti for dinner. We got pizza for dinner. We got macaroni and cheese. We got all that stuff for dinner. And as a result, all that stuff you just ate for dinner with the garlic, you got garlic bread and all that stuff. You got the rice and beans somebody was asking about. We got the rice and the beans together. And then our blood sugar goes back up again. I'm going to take this down. Join the challenge, folks. Reset 20, that's the discount code. 7 p.m., you go eat dinner, and then your blood sugar goes back up again. And then, as quickly as it goes up, it starts to come down again. And some people are like, well, Kelley, why am I hungry at bedtime? Why am I hungry at 8 o'clock? Why am I hungry at say, 9:15? What happens at 9:15 every night, folks? About 9:15 to 8, 9:15, what happens? You already ate dinner. Look, this is your day. You had breakfast. You had a snack. You had lunch. You had another snack, that donut, and then you had dinner. Now you're at the evening time. What happens what are we doing at 9:15 every evening, folks? 6, somebody said. I love rice. Zoodles. Nope. All right. Nobody knows what happens. It's a quiet bunch today. Nobody knows what happens at about 9:15 every night. When you're watching Netflix at 9:15 every night, and you're sitting on the couch and you're watching your show, you already had dinner, but it's 9:15. How you feeling? What do you want? It's dessert time. There it is. You hungry. There it is. Catarrhal, you hungry. Hell yeah. You winding down, right? You Rosemary, you're winding down, right? But yeah, you're winding down. But to wind down even more, you need that snack to go with it, don't you? You need that snack. So what do? This is a real day, folks. I've been there. You go to the freezer and you grab your favorite ice cream, the big bucket of ice cream, and you eat that while you're watching your show, don't you? Don't you? I told you can't pull nothing on me because I've been exactly where you are. That's how I know about this. That's how I know about this because I've been there. I ain't just some guy talking about, oh, what have you done, Kelley? Well, I was a guy who was obese. I was a guy who had diabetes, and I was a guy who had heart disease. But not only did I have that, I got diagnosed this all at the very same dang on doctor's visit. Celebration time. That's what my doctor did when I got diagnosed. He celebrated. So now it's dinner time. Now it's bedtime. Now it's bedtime and your blood sugar is still high. Your blood sugar is high at bedtime. It's 10 p.m. But every time you go to bed, it's 10 p.m. and your blood sugar is at 315. What do you do? Your blood sugar is at 315. What do you do now? It's bedtime. What are we doing? Before we get in that bed, what are we doing? The day's not over with. It's a long day, folks. Any idea? All right, here we go. No guesses on that one. But here it is, insulin. You're like, my blood sugar's high, so I'm gonna give me some insulin. And who knows what happens at about 3 a.m. every day? Not every day, but it happens a lot. What happens to you at 3 a.m.? Yep, take insulin. What happens to you at 3 a.m.? Let's see over here. You eat, there you go, winding down. Buy a tiny ice cream sandwich, but one is not enough. Yep, you eat two, exactly. One is not enough. Take fast-acting insulin. There it is. That's it. You said it, Rosemary. You take some fast-acting insulin. And as a result, what happens at 3 a.m.? Sugar, thirsty juice, sugar goes low. That's it. You wake up at 3 a.m. You wake up at 3 a.m. because your blood sugar just tanked. The reason you wake up at 3 a.m. because your blood sugar just tanked, you took your fast-acting insulin at that point, and it caused your blood sugar to drop overnight. And as a result, you wake up at 3 a.m. looking like, ah! You wake up looking at the ceiling like, where am I? You ever been there before? You ever wake up and just be like, you wake up in the morning and at 3 a.m. and you're like, where am I? And you're looking all bug-eyed, and your wife and your spouse or your husband, they're looking at you like, man, what the hell is going on with you? Why you wake up like that? Why you wake up all crazy, bug-eyed looking? And you're going to be like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you what happens. Here's what happens. You took that insulin, your blood sugar tanked overnight because you took that insulin. Insulin caused your blood sugar to go down. It's going to tank overnight. And you're going to wake up looking all bug-eyed and wondering why you're waking up looking all bug-eyed. It's because your body said, wake up. Your body says, adrenaline, kick in. This guy's about to check out of here. This guy or gal is about to check out of here. Their blood sugar is getting too low. Wake them up. Give them some adrenaline now. It's like adrenaline, boom. Cortisol, boom. Wake them up. That's why you wake up looking like bug-eyed. So I hope this is making sense to y'all, folks. Hope this is making sense. But here's the thing. Human beings are so glutton for punishment. Like, that's not even enough. That's not even enough to go through all of that every day. Because we'll wake up the very next day and go through the same process all over again. I told you, man, human beings are the only species that are glutton for punishment. The only species. You won't see no other species that are glutton for punishment except for human beings. Why is that? We're wired different than everybody. We're wired different than dogs and cats and lions and tigers and bears and trees and all that. All other life forms are not like humans. Humans are like, bring the pain, bring the punishment. We're glutton for it. You might be glutton for a punishment, but I can guarantee your body is not glutton for punishment. All your body wants to do is heal. That's all it wants to do. That's all it wants to do. That's all it wants to do is heal. But we're so glutton for punishment that we won't even allow our body to heal. Isn't that? I told you, man, human beings are weird. We're weird, dude. We're weird, dude. I'm telling you. We're weird. I'm weird. You're weird. Everybody's weird in their own way. But together, collectively, all the 8 billion of us, we are weird, man. Because this is weird. To do this every single day is freaking weird to me. My suggestion would be to get off of the roller coaster. Get off of the roller coaster. What's your favorite roller coaster? What's your favorite what's your favorite amusement park? Whatever your favorite amusement park is, they got the baddest roller coaster. Like the baddest roller coaster I've ever been on was at this amusement park right here. Well, next time you go to that theme park, and if you're suffering from diabetes, I want you to stay as far away from that roller coaster as you possibly can. Okay? Stay away from that roller coaster. And go get on the kiddie rides. Go get on the teacups. Go get on the Dumbo ride. Like I said, Disney World, the Dumbo. Go get on the Dumbo ride. Don't get on the roller coaster. Those are for the big boys. That's the big boy stuff, the roller coasters. You know what I mean? I grew up in Busch Gardens. It's another one in Tampa. Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay. Oh my gosh. You talk about roller coasters? Man. Got some of the baddest roller coasters in this country at Busch Gardens out of Tampa. Don't go there. Don't go there. So if this is making sense to y'all folks, put a health yes in the chat. Put a health yes in the chat if you are going to get off of the roller coaster. How you get off of the roller coaster? Step number 1, start off with a savory breakfast. Remember we talked about that in clean eating? Step number 1, start off with a savory breakfast. Remember what a savory breakfast was? A protein, a healthy protein, a lean protein, a fat, and a vegetable, a vegetable on the side. So it could be something like chicken and broccoli and an avocado. Chicken, broccoli, a chicken, whole bunch of broccoli, and avocados. And that could be your breakfast. So what that's going to do, instead of putting you on a roller coaster first thing in the morning, what that's going to do is going to give you nice sustained energy throughout, especially through the morning. It's going to give you nice sustained energy through the morning, and that's going to set you up for the rest of your day. So it's nice and smooth, right? That line is going to be smooth. Your blood sugar is going to be smooth. It might go up a little bit when you eat, but for the most part, it's going to be smooth. Vice, if you wake up in the morning and eat a ho-ho Twinkie, you eat mom's pancakes, you eat those grits that we talking about, you eat those Quaker oats. Woo. You eat those Quaker oats in the morning, man, strap in. I'm telling you, strap in, buckle up, because they're getting ready to take you all the way to the top of that roller coaster. And you know how when you get to the top of that roller coaster, you're going to the top, you're like, I'm going to the top. And the thing is ticking, tick, 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 tick. The chain is ticking, tick, 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 tick. And you're like, oh, you see in the park? You're like, whoa, we're going high. We're going high. That's what's going to happen whenever you drink that, whenever you eat that oatmeal in the morning, whenever you eat that fruit bowl in the morning, it's just like you strapping into that roller coaster. So that's what I want you to remember. Even if you don't remember anything that I tell you on this live today in this class, I want you to remember this. When you have a sweet breakfast, I just want you to remember thinking of a roller coaster every single time. Every time you're about to eat that sweet breakfast, just picture yourself on that roller coaster going up that tick, 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 tick. And then when you get to the top, what happens when you get to the top? You're at the top of the park, and then the bottom just falls out, right? The bottom falls out, doesn't it, on that roller coaster? And you're like, wee! Oh my, and then they take a picture of you, you get the picture, and then when you get off of the roller coaster and you see your picture and you laugh at your picture, you're like, oh my God, look at my face on that roller coaster. That's exactly what you're putting your blood sugar through every single day. Some bad roller coasters out there. Some bad ones out there. Right? Universal Studios got one called, and then I'm going to leave the roller coaster things alone. Universal Studios got this one thing called the Incredible Hulk. Universal Studios, the Incredible Hulk. It's not like the traditional roller coaster where they get to that tick, 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 and you get to the top. No. The Incredible Hulk is different than that. The Incredible Hulk is like, you're just sitting there, you're on flat land, you're sitting there, and you're strapped in, and then all of a sudden, you're sitting there, you're at a zero, and then that mug just, boom, it takes off, just like a freaking drag race. You ever seen a drag race? That's what it's like in the Incredible Hulk. It'll just take in, boom, it'll shoot you up, like it'll shoot you, you'll go, and then you'll go up. That's the Incredible Hulk. straight out of Universal Studios. That's a bad roller coaster too. But this is how you get off the roller coaster, folks. So if this is making sense to y'all and you're going to get off the roller coaster, step number one is have a savory breakfast. If you're now going to get off the roller coaster and say, Kelley, I'm getting off the roller coaster, bro. Or you know what, Kelley? I love the roller coaster so much. Which one are you going to get? You going to stay on or you going to get off? You've been like, I love the roller coaster so much, Kelley. I love my Ho-Ho Twinkies in the morning. I love my pancakes in the morning. I love my fruit in the morning. I love all of this, all of my sugary Captain Crunch in the morning. I love all of my coffee with all the sugar in it in the morning. Kelley, are you going to get off of the roller coaster or are you going to stay on the roller coaster? The choice is yours. It's choice time. And I'm going to leave it at that. Somebody said they don't want to go to the top. You don't want to go to the top of that one, y'all. Don't want to go to the top. No fruit. Yes, the avocado. Avocado is a fruit, yeah. It's a fruit, y'all. But it's not. It's high in fat, so healthy fat. So are you okay with the avocado? I'm getting off the roller coaster. All right. I'm struggling with diabetes. I already got 2 amputees. I need help. Yeah. If you've already been amputated twice, smiley face, then it's time. I don't know what else is going to take. You say if you're ready, you should be on that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge right now. You should be all the way in that challenge right now. You should not pass go. You should be in my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge right now, folks. If you want to get off of this roller coaster, there's not a lot of questions on the roller coasters. All right. Can you eat fish? Yeah, you can eat fish. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, really, really sorry to hear that, man. We gonna get you off there. We gonna get you there. We're going to get you there. When you got the amputees, like the time to act is right now. Because if you've got amputees, I met a guy the other day, a couple of the other month, and he got his leg amputated from diabetes. And he tells me that he might need to change. I'm like, bro, what do you mean you might need to change, man? The time to change is not now, it's right now. Your check engine light's on. We got to stop the damage. Because here's the thing. Change begins when you stop letting your old story define your future story. That's where change begins. What do you mean, Mike? Be clear with the plan and stop the BS. Maybe you're just joining us, Mike. But there ain't been no BS on here. It's all been straight talk. So you can miss me with that, Mike. What's the lunch then? The lunch, you guys are just, you missed the clean eating part, folks. We hit a whole, come back tomorrow. I'm telling you, come back tomorrow and we're going to talk everything clean eating. If you're just joining, it's a 4-hour live. That's why we go through different topics. We got a lot of different topics. And I promise you, you ain't going to find anybody like me. You ain't going to find anybody like me to keep it real with you like this when it comes to this, who's actually been there and done that and been there and had diabetes and defeated it. You ain't going to meet nobody on here like that that's breaking it down like this. You know what I'm saying? So the blood sugar roller coaster, if you're ready to get off of this blood sugar roller coaster, a couple of things that you can start doing. To get off of the blood sugar roller coaster. Number one is take the quiz. If you click right up here, we're getting ready to get out of here in 15 minutes. Click right up here. Click on my picture again. Yeah, I did miss that part. You're right. Yeah, come back tomorrow. It's a 4-hour live. I promise you. We talk about, I'll answer all your eating questions. I promise you. We talk about eating for an hour. Every question you got about eating, I'm going to try to answer. But in the meantime and in between time, folks, for my action takers, for my people who have got, like I told you, where they don't need to change, not now, but right now, where change isn't just desired, it's downright necessary. We start talking about neuropathy and getting amputated and stuff like that. That's serious, man. Like it's time to do something. We can't sit back on our hands anymore. And if it's tough love I got to give you, it's tough love I got to give you, because I'm telling you that is you're going down. It's the wrong track. We got to get you on the right track. What's the right track? Is putting your health first. Put your health first. That's it. Because if you don't have your health, man, you can't do anything. You can have all the money in the world and you still don't have, and you don't have your health, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Right here, click right here. And then I'll get to your final questions, folks. For my TikTok folks right here. Click right up here. Click on my picture again. And then you're going to come to this. See, I'm pointing to the way. I'm pointing you the way. This link is like Disney World for a diabetic, folks. It's like Disney World for a diabetic. If you've been suffering from diabetes for many, many years, it is like Disney World. I told you I grew up in Orlando. I know a thing or two about theme parks, amusement parks. I just named a whole bunch of them. The part that I didn't tell you is I auditioned to be Mickey as a kid, and I got rejected because I was too tall, 1/4 inch. Look at this. The quiz, the masterclass, 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Everything's free. The quiz is free. The masterclass is free, where I break down the lifestyle medicine formula. I give you tactics in stress management. I give you tactics in active body. I give you tactics in clean eating. I give you tactics in effective sleep. This is all free stuff, folks. You just got to go. You just got to go register and sit down and watch it. That's it. That's all you got to do. 45 minutes out of your life, and then actually do what I say on the video, because there's a big gap between knowing and doing. Okay. But for my doing people, this is for my people who are ready to do. Right? Like a couple of people this morning have been ready to do. They joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. 14 days, 42 meals, all designed by me. It is a blueprint. All you have to do is follow the blueprint. You follow the blueprint and you do the work. Look, ready to take control of your blood sugar. You follow the blueprint and you do the work. It's a proven system. It's a proven system. How do I know it's proven? It's because I'm the one who created it. It's because I'm the one who was the first test. What do they call it? The test, the guinea pig, as I call it. They call it. I was the first guinea pig on myself. I tested it on myself. Then I was like, oh, okay, this worked on me. Let me see if it will work on other people. Right? This is when I was training to become a nutritionist. I was like, you know what? And they put us through all this different stuff that we had to go, like different scenarios. So I was like, let me try this on this person. I was like experimenting on people when I was first training to become a nutritionist. All right, check it out. And then I found out the magic formula. And I found out that magic formula, and I put it in this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's what it's all about. 14 days, 42 meals. It is a blueprint that says if you follow this blueprint, the same way Kelley did, the same way all those other people that he experimented on and all of his current clients, the same 14 days that they went through, I'm going to go through that. And if I do what they did, I'm going to probably get the same results as they got. That means I'm not going to have high blood sugar anymore. That means that the neuropathy and the tingling in my fingers and the inflammation is going to start to come back down, because your body wants to heal. Your body doesn't want to suffer from a neuropathy. Your body doesn't want to suffer from high blood sugar. Your body does not want any of that. It doesn't want to do any of that. All it wants to do is heal. And if you give it the right time and the right equipment, guess what your body will do? It will heal. It will heal. It's built that way. Well, people are like, 2 weeks, Kelley. I've had diabetes for 20 years, Kelley. That's a joke, bro. 20 years. I had diabetes for 20 years, and you telling me in 2 weeks we gonna bring my blood sugar back into the normal range or close to the normal range? I'll give you and I'll say yes. I'll give you an example. Lisa, who was just on here a couple of days ago, told her story. She's had diabetes for 20 years, gestational diabetes, all of that. That's her story. Her story. 20 years she's dealing with diabetes. When we started the challenge on day 1 of the challenge, guess what her blood sugar was? Her blood sugar was at a 360. We thought the meter was wrong because she hadn't had worn a meter in a while. When she hit me up and let me know it was at a 360, her meter, we thought that it was wrong. Like 360, that can't be right. Sure enough, it was right. Now you check back with her just on Monday. Today's Wednesday. You check back with her on Monday. Guess where it was on Monday? At a 104. At a 104, we're getting ready to celebrate her because she's getting ready to cross over until that less than 100. When you get less than 100, you know what it means when you're less than 100, folks? It means that you're out of the diabetic range. That's what it means. It means you're out of the diabetic range. And diabetes If you keep going this way, if you keep showing up, doing the work and doing it again tomorrow, guess what? The diabetes will go away. That's it. Just like it did for Kelley, just like it did for everybody else that he's worked with. The same thing. They just followed the blueprint. You want to follow the blueprint, use the live discount code RESET20. RESET20, you're joining the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for not $99, but $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Best investment in your health, I promise you, that you will ever do. Now, you don't have to do it because there's a lot of freebies on there. It's choice time. You can say, Kelley, I don't want to do that. That's outside of my comfort zone. Doing the work for 2 weeks, I'd rather not. I'd rather sit back on my hands and let this thing take me up out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'd rather continue to take fast-acting insulin. I'd rather be like 10 p.m. and I take fast-acting insulin. I'd rather do that, and I'd rather stay on the roller coaster for the rest of my life, Kelley. I'd rather do that instead. And believe it or not, this is the choice that most people will choose. It's called the blue pill. Most people will choose to stay on the roller coaster. That's what they'll choose to do. Taking the medication day in and day out. Blue pill, roller coaster, right? Eating whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, not managing your stress, not managing your activity, not managing your eating, not managing your sleeping. Blue pill. The Matrix. Remember the Matrix? Blue pill. Stay inside of the Matrix. Metformin, blue pill. Ozempic, blue pill. Wegovy, blue pill. Glyphosate, blue pill. What's the red pill? To get out of the Matrix. Managing your stress. Mastering the 3 M's. Being active. Red pill. Stress management, red pill. Clean eating, red pill. Effective sleep, red pill. Managing your substances abuse. Like things like alcohol and all that stuff, and medications. Trying to eliminate that out of your life as much as you possibly can. Red pill. And connecting with other people, healthy connections, healthy relationships with other people, your spouse, other human beings, healthy, good connections. It gives you those feel-good hormones to be around other people. It's why during the pandemic you hated, you felt like crap because why? All you wanted to do during the pandemic was go get out and go hang out with your friends. You wanted to go hang out with your friends. You wanted to go hang out with your grandma. You wanted to go see grandma, but you couldn't see grandma during the pandemic, could you? Why? And you were fiending for it. Like, dang, I can't go hang out with my friends. I can't go here. I can't go there. I can't do this. The highways are all empty. It's because we need that healthy connections with other people. You need it. It's a part of a healthy lifestyle. So that's it, folks. Any questions on this? We're going to get any questions. Let me see if y'all got any questions before we get up out of here, man. Hey, brother, to give the discount code. The discount code is RESET20. RESET20. Let me get it out of here. RESET20 is the discount code. The live discount code. I'm going to put it up here. RESET20. That's bad. Can't really see that. RESET20. People are asking what the discount code is. That's it. RESET20. That's it. Yeah. One word though. One word. No space. How can I avoid insulin? By doing the work. Doing the work. That's how you avoid it. After the 14-day challenge, do you go back to normal eating, or is there a maintenance plan? Were you here for the clean eating? You missed clean eating. Come back tomorrow and we'll talk about clean eating. But after you finish the 14-day challenge, yes, it is. That's when we do the clean eating. Remember, we did the clean eating plate. Remember, we did the plate, right? Were you here for the plate? That's the maintenance. That's the clean eating. That's the part that you missed. That's a very, very important part. A lot of people are asking questions about eating. I think you're just getting here, but we've been here 4 hours, almost 4 hours. So we've been talking about clean eating a lot. So yeah, there is a maintenance plan after that, right? Let's see. Happy birthday, you give a brother a discount. Happy birthday, you give a brother a discount. Yeah. I'm waking up 1 to 2 times a night to urinate. Yeah. If you're doing that, one is okay. All right, cool. But then you make it up multiple times. Yeah, that means that you got high blood sugar. Your blood sugar is trying to get out. It's trying to get out by any means necessary. And the way that it's got to get out is gonna leave through your urine. It's gonna take all of the liquid with it, and it's gonna try to get this blood sugar out. And as a result of getting this blood sugar out, it's gonna take all of the liquid with it. So that's why you're constantly urinating, to try to get this blood sugar out. Get it out. Get it out. You're going to the bathroom. I got to get it out. It's funny, but it's not funny. How they used to test to see if people had diabetes back in the day. Thank God that technology has evolved. But back in the day, here's what they had to do. The nurses had to tell if someone had diabetes back in the day, before all this fancy equipment. The nurses had to take this is gross stuff, but they took someone's urine and they sipped on someone's urine to see if it was sweet. That's how they did it back in the day before technology. They sipped on someone's urine to see if it was sweet. And if it was sweet, yeah, ding, 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 diabetes. Thank God technology has evolved, right? Yeah, they can just say they pull it to do a test. Oh yeah, we found sugar in your urine. That's what they'll say. You don't have to drink it. Did you touch on intermittent fasting 16? I didn't really touch on fasting today. Come back tomorrow, we'll talk more about fasting, but we're getting ready to get up out of here. But come back tomorrow, we'll talk a lot about fasting, folks. Did you touch on intermittent fasting, Kelley? I wasn't here for that. No, I didn't talk about that one today. Come back tomorrow, we'll talk about it. Come back and ask your questions, Chris, tomorrow about intermittent fasting. We're here every day, 7 a.m. or Monday through Saturday, every day except for Sunday. 7 a.m., 7:15-ish to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when we're here. 7:15 to 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Monday through Saturday. All right. Any record for blood sugar? Any recommendations for blood pressure? Sorry, yeah. The same thing. Maintain your pace. Maintain your pace. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. You might be just getting here, but it's the same. We talked about the lifestyle medicine formula. Click the link in my bio, and this is what you can do. You can there's a lot of recommendations. It's for overall health, though, right? It's for overall health. So blood pressure included. But when you fix your blood sugar, folks, you fix everything else. You fix your blood sugar, you fix everything. Now, here's the thing. Right here, click right up here. Click on my picture again, and here's where all the goodies are. And we're getting ready to get up out of here. We're out of here in like 2 minutes, folks. Right here. You can register for that masterclass. Who said that? Letitia. You can register for the masterclass right there. And that right there in that masterclass, the blue one, is going to tell you the lifestyle medicine formula. Peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep. These are the pillars of health. So high blood pressure, high blood sugar, inflammation, whatever. This is the work that you're going to have to do. The work that you're going to have to do. But here's the thing. I'm going to leave y'all with this. You book your book. They're writing your book right now. Your book's being written right now. It's being written right now. And if you skip discipline, here's what's going to happen. If you skip it today, all you're going to have tomorrow is regret. That's all they're going to write in your book is regret. If you skip discipline today, in your book about your life, all that's going to be written is regret. And it's like, what's the story of your life? Regret. That's it. Like if somebody wrote a book about your life. Well, what did it say? What did the book say? Oh, I can sum it up in one word. What's that book about? Oh yeah, that book about whatever. To say someone's name, whatever is Tracy. I'm gonna say Tracy Smith. What's her story? Her story was this: regret. That's what her story says. That's what her book writes. This one page. Regret. The end. If you don't want to live that life, folks, you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to do some work. You're going to have some discipline in your life. Discipline is doing the necessary things to achieve a desired result, no matter how you feel. No matter how you feel. Right here. The quiz, the masterclass, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. For my people who are ready for serious change, join the challenge. You know the discount code, SAVE20. There it is right there. You're joining the challenge for $79. I'm not SAVE20, sorry. Reset 20. That was the old one. Reset 20 is the new one. You use that, you're joining the challenge for $79. But here's the thing, folks. We'll be back tomorrow. But I want to leave y'all with this. I'm going to leave y'all with this. I want y'all to think about this overnight. Just think about this. When we hang up, I want y'all to think about this. I want y'all to think that if your A1C is at a 13, then the time for action is right now. Cisco at Disco Ho. Cisco at Disco Ho, that's a serious name. If your A1C is at a 13, the time for action, the time for change, the time for talking is over. There's no more talk when your A1C is at 13. There literally is. Because it's choice time. You got a choice at this point. And this is a choice that you're going to have. When you're born, you look like your parents. We do. When we're all born, we look like our parents. I look like my mom, my dad, whoever. You look like your grandma. You look like your grandfather. You look like your parents, right? But when we die, we look like our choices. All right, folks. See y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7:15. We'll be back. Let's see if I missed any questions over here, man. Appreciate y'all for jumping on, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.